Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Busch Stadium here in St. Louis, Missouri. Game 5 of the 2013 World Series. The series tied at 2 wins apiece. The final game in St. Louis this season as the Red Sox and the Cardinals go at it on a beautiful night for baseball. No threat of rain, comfortable temperatures for the sellout crowd as the Cardinals take the field. Our pitching matchup brought to you by EMD Serrano. A rematch of Game 1. Jon Lester was so brilliant, and there was never a lot of World Series run in 2 starts, covering 13 and a third innings. He gets the nod for the Red Sox, and it's the right-hander and 19-game winner Adam Wainwright going for the Cardinals, the starter and loser in Game 1. Our pitching matchup brought to you by EMD Serrano. How do you match up to an open position at EMD Serrano? Visit the career section of their website, emdserrano.com. EMD Serrano is a leader in the U.S. biopharmaceutical industry. Visit emdserrano.com for more details. Starting lineups brought to you by D'Angelo's. Wake up your taste buds. Try D'Angelo's new spicy Hawaiian sandwich. It's got grilled chicken or steak, jalapenos, pineapple, melted cheese. Think with your stomach. Go to D'Angelo, and also by Sprint. Check out their incredible deal on the new 7-inch Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 at your local Sprint store or sprint.com. Jacoby Ellsbury leading off in center field, then Dustin Pedroia at second base. David Ortiz moved up to the third spot, DHing. Johnny Gomes in the cleanup spot in left field. Daniel Navas in right field hitting fifth. Xander Bogaerts at third base. Stephen Drew is the shortstop. David Ross catching, and on the mound, Jon Lester. He is 3-1 this postseason. For the Cardinals, Matt Carpenter at second base. Shane Robinson playing in center field with a lefty going, hitting second. Matt Holliday in left field. Carlos Beltran is in right field. Nadir Molina catching. It's Alan Craig who can really walk without a limp at first base. David Freese at third base. Pete Cosma at shortstop, and Adam Wainwright pitching. He is 4-2 in his postseason career, 2-2 this year. Injury report sponsored by the Orthopedic All-Stars at the Newton Wellesley Orthopedic Associates. Shane Victorino, feeling a lot better, is capable of playing tonight and may later in the game. Is an aching back, hand, knee, ankle, or other joint keeping you on the bench? If so, let Newton Wellesley Orthopedic Associates get you back in the action. Slide into NWOA.com. 56 degrees here at 7:07 Central Time. Time and temp brought to you by the Exogen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. Fast, easy, and a great value. Ready for baseball? Here's Dave O'Brien.
Thanks, Joe. Wainwright's first pitch of the contest is outside for ball one, and we are underway in a clear and nice night. 56 degrees. Temperatures today were in the mid-60s, near 70 degrees here in St. Louis. Beautiful day. Game 5 of the World Series, and Jacoby Ellsbury hitting .339 for the postseason. In on the left side, the pitch. That is up high for a ball, and remember, Jacoby led off Game 1 by taking a walk issued by Wainwright. He would score the Sox' very first run on the Mike Napoli 3-run double. Wainwright has been really stingy with bases on balls. He's walked only 2 men in the postseason, and he delivers, and it's in there for a called strike.
That first time around in Fenway Park, one number that really jumps out at you, of the 23 curveballs, only 3 swings and misses for the Red Sox. That is a huge pitch for Adam Wainwright. They laid off of it. They identified it, but it wasn't his best. And you wonder here at this ballpark, will we see his best?
It's a hammer of a pitch for him. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen by Jacoby. Dustin Pedroia on deck, then David Ortiz. This week at Shaw's, remember to pick up boneless, skinless chicken breast, only $1.88 a pound. Shaw's is the official supermarket of the Red Sox radio network. World Series tied 2-2. 2 incredible games back-to-back here. The way they ended, still staggering the imagination. What will happen tonight? The pitch. And there's strike 3. Got him looking. He sits down Jacoby with a 90-mile-an-hour pitch. Ellsbury caught looking, one away.
It was a backdoor cutter from Wainwright. Fastball, cutter, curveball, but actually missed location. Yachty wanted this one in. Try to see if he could jam or get Jacoby to swing over it. Ended up on the outside corner. Perfect pitch.
Now Dustin Pedroia trying to get going. .259 for the postseason. He's driven in only 7 runs in 14 games. And a pitch to Petey is taken for strike 1. Who is going to be the AutoZone in the zone player of the game for tonight's World Series matchup? David Ortiz, Jon Lester, Matt Holliday, or Adam Wainwright? Go to ESPNradio.com to vote. Petey 4 for 15 in the series. Here's the 0-1. Swing fouled in the air, out of play to the right. And that one up and into the top deck.
Righty.
Wainwright went 19-9 during the regular season with a 2.94 ERA. He was the man in their rotation. He was their Jon Lester. This matchup tonight has a chance to be a World Series classic between these two starters. Wainwright ready, man the 0-2. Swinging a line shot to left field. That's going to go down the line, on the grass, bouncing past Holiday. It's up against the wall. Pedroia's into second base. He's there with a stand-up double. He really crunched it. That was a laser by Pedroia. And a quick double for the Red Sox to silence the crowd. And here comes David Ortiz.
And this was a Wainwright curveball that really just hung. Yachty wanted this thing outer half. It stayed inner half, and Petey was all over this thing. You talk about some of those numbers from Wainwright. Really difficult in this ballpark. 17 games at home, 17 on the road. The difference? He had 217 off him here, 276 on the road. He loves pitching here.
Big ballpark. He can make a mistake once in a while here. He hasn't made many of those. 5-0 at Busch Stadium since September 1st. But David Ortiz is in.
Petey's second double of the series.
First base open. We'll see how they pitch Big Papi here. You would think very, very carefully. First one on the way. Swinging a ground ball fair down the first base line. That's going to keep bouncing up against the sidewall. Here comes Petey. He's in to score. Ortiz is into second base with a stand-up double. What a series David Ortiz is having. And the Red Sox lead it 1-0 here in Game 5. An RBI double.
Oh, he's 9 for 12 now. People, I'm sure Cardinal fans shaking their heads going, what are you doing? Base open. I wouldn't let this guy beat me, and I agree with him. But you got to give David a lot of credit. Everyone's thinking about base open. You pitch around him. He challenged him first pitch fastball in. He's not taken. He doesn't think they're going to pitch around him. He still drops the head and gets this ball down the line.
David's 13 postseason RBIs now. As you mentioned, he is 9 for 12 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs in this series.
On base 13 times in 17 plate appearances, and he didn't give him a chance to pitch around. That pitch may not have been a strike.
Here's Johnny Gomes, and Johnny, the hero of last night offensively, takes up and in for ball 1. We have reached the giant part of the order. For every home run hit by Sox batters 3 through 6, Giant Glass donates $200 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Massachusetts. Red Sox ahead 1-0. Back-to-back doubles by Pedroia and Ortiz. And a 1-0 to Johnny is taking a fastball for a strike on the inner half to even a count at 1-1. Right away, this looks like the same Wainwright that the Red Sox saw in Game 1, who they knocked around, quite frankly.
They got 3 runs in the first inning of that game.
Well, a lot of times he's, the good ones, you get them early on before they get that feel. Right now, location's off, hanging curveball, missing some spots.
The pitch, that's taken for a strike.
As I mentioned, he struck out Jacoby Ellsbury looking, but he missed the spot. Completely wrong side of the plate. So he got fooled a little bit. You're talking about heroes in the game. I think it's actually these next couple of guys because you already let David beat him once. Will he do it again the rest of the game? It's up to 4, 5, and 6 to make him pay for it.
Here's the set. Ortiz leading at second. Wainwright checks him and delivers. And it is just a little bit low. Gomes with the 3-run homer in the 6th inning in Game 4 that proved to be the game winner, and not too shabby for a guy who found out 90 minutes before the game that he was going to start in the outfield after Shane Victorino was scratched. Shane, by the way, has been telling people his back feels worse now than maybe at any point it has all season long. Here's the set in the 2-2. Fastball inside at the thigh. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Didn't you just know it was really bothering when you didn't see him late?
Yes.
I mean, Shane Victorino has battled injuries. He has played through injuries. And for him to not get in that game late defensively told you how much he was really hurting.
I think he's talking as if he means to play again in the series, and I'm sure his mind is working that way. We'll see if we see him tonight. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Gomes. In there, got him with a breaking ball. Struck him out looking with a sharp hook. Got him with the hook, and it's 2 strikeouts in the inning for Wainwright.
Oh, that was nasty.
Yeah, that was nasty. 3-2 base open. I guess he'll be ready for everything here, but he really fools Johnny here. Buckles him. It's a good pitch.
And that'll bring up Daniel Nava. 1-0 Red Sox. A quick strike for Boston, though. How nice it is to see that. Daniel at 238 for the postseason without a homer, 2 runs batted in. He's 2 for 10 in the World Series. Xander Bogaerts on deck. And Wainwright delivers. And it's a fastball for strike one. Bill Miller has the plate tonight. St. Louis has been abuzz all day with the way last night's game ended. The pickoff by Koji to end a World Series game. An absolute stunner. Here's the 0-1 home, and it's over but low. 1 ball and 1 strike. First time in the history of the World Series that a game ended on a pickoff.
Well, both teams know how each other feels like. 'Cause the last 2 nights, both teams, I think, stunned walking off this field. Like, what just happened?
A walk-off obstruction and a walk-off pickoff. That never happens.
It never evens out as quickly, right? That's
right.
Feeling stunned.
They're set now. Nava hitting left-handed. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a grounder foul off first base right through the coach's box.
ID.
Let's pause 10 seconds here for station ID on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Home for Red Sox baseball. Sports Radio, WEEI Boston, WEEI FM and HD1, Lawrence, Boston.
Go.
Well, Daniel Nava climbing back in on a 1-2 pitch due from Adam Wainwright, the 6'7" right-hander, who has struck out 2 here in the first inning, but he's also surrendered 2 hard-hit doubles. And a 1-2 to Nava. And it's a breaking ball inside, past his left foot. Good take there by Daniel, 2-2.
That's the pitch the Sox did a really nice job of laying off in that first game. It's not a strike, but it's such a big breaker out of his hand, it might look like a strike, but it's down, it's in the dirt, or it's just off the dirt. And the Sox did a nice job of laying off of that, and Daniel Nava continues it here.
This will be his 20th pitch, so they're making him work, too.
Again, as they did the first go-around. Ortiz leading away from second base. St. Louis now another town on Big Papi's list that he just terrifies. Here's the toss, no throw towards second base. He whirled but did not throw as Ortiz went romping back to the bag.
You know, they got that pitch count up. This would be his 20th pitch, really, with Daniel Nava, the only one really working a count. I mean, I know what the 3-2 on Johnny, but he got it there swinging, fouling a couple balls off. Everybody else been pretty aggressive.
Base hit should drive in another run. 2-2 on Nava. Wainwright fires in, swinging a little roller foul back toward the screen behind home plate. So again, Nava will extend him. Question is it wise to win Game 5? The winner of Game 5, when a series is tied 2-2 going in, has lost 7 out of the last 10 World Series games. I would counter that by saying emphatically it is a wise move to win Game 5. Take Game 5. Yeah. Take a 3-2 lead back to Fenway.
I'll take my chances.
Yes. The stretch, the pitch, and in there, struck him out. He got him looking with a fastball around knee high at 93. So Wainwright strikes out 3 men, but he also gives up 2 well-hit doubles. And at the end of a half inning here in Game 5, it's the Sox in front, 1-0 on the St. Louis Cardinals. Here on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Somebody joked today that they would not be shocked at all if at some point in Game 5 a bolt of lightning struck a foul pole. That's the way the series has gone lately. All tied up 2-2, but the Red Sox have a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Joe Castiglione, Lou Merloni, Dave O'Brien alongside, and Jon Lester on the mound.
Well, Johnny, like we've seen so much in this postseason, especially against this right-handed dominant lineup, establish that fastball in early on those guys. Get in their kitchen. As we've seen this lineup, they don't like it in there. It opens up the entire outside part of the plate for them, as we saw in Game 1.
Matt Carpenter, the lefty batter, leads it off, and the first pitch is taken for ball 1 outside. Bogaerts is in close in front of the cut of the grass at third against a bunt. Shane Robinson on deck, and then Matt Holliday, and then Carlos Beltran, who's batting out of the 4th spot. Lester with a 1-0. Swing, little roller, tap foul right through the World Series logo on the first base side, and the count goes to 1-1. Lester was money in Game 1. An 8-1 victory. Went 7 2/3, no runs. He struck out 8.
Sox have scored in the first inning in 8 of the last 13 World Series games. They're 8-0 in those games.
Well, this bodes well. The 1-1 swing loop foul back out of play to the left by Carpenter, who is hitting .278 for the World Series. He's not a guy who takes ball 4, at least not in the postseason. He hasn't walked very much.
Oh, that's a heck of a stat. It's a good sign.
I think so. Keep that one handy.
No, I didn't come up with that one.
We may revisit it. Who came up with it?
I don't know. It was handed. Great Doug Lane.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing foul back to the screen on a fastball in around the knuckles at 94 miles an hour. Now, during the regular season, lefty starters gave the Cardinals fits. They were 19-23 against them. So they don't like to see lefties, and they didn't like to see Jon Lester in game 1 either. Of course, Jon has been a big game performer throughout his postseason career. Here's the 1-2 to Carpenter. Breaking ball swing, ground ball to first. Ortiz with a stab behind the bag. Now up to the base. He taps it for the out.
And just a note as well, there was no checking of Jon Lester's glove. There was a lot of attention after that first game. There's some speculation maybe the umpires do. What Mike Matheny do? I don't think it would come from the dugout at all from Matheny. I was wondering maybe if the umpires felt like they almost have to.
You mean like just for show?
Just for almost eyewash. Go out there and say, listen, I just have to do this. It was
all that
attention.
stuff's about as bogus as the Clay Buchholz situation earlier in the year with the Toronto TV people.
I agree. So there was none.
Here's Shane Robinson in on the right side. Center fielder backs away, and it's down and in for ball 1. Ever since that occurred, the Buchholz thing with Toronto, a lot of the people around the Blue Jay organization were a little bit sheepish about that topic. The 1-0 pitch. He bluffs a bunt, takes a strike on the inside corner. That did draw in Bogart several strides from third base toward home. 1-1, one man out, bases empty here in the first inning for St. Louis. Red Sox in front 1-0 as David Ortiz has struck again for an RBI double. The pitch. Swinging a ground ball up the middle, stopped a bit by Lester, rolls to Petey. He throws and gets him. Pedroia off the deflection that rolled behind the pitcher's mound. A very quick, instinctive reaction by Pedroia. Lester able to slow that down. Otherwise, that's probably a base hit.
No question. This ball's hit pretty good. Ground ball up the middle, but barreled. Lester gets enough of it glove side to slow it down. Petey, nice job. Catch and throw all in one motion to get Robinson.
1-4-3 for out number 2. And now Matt Holliday will step in. You know, home field advantage matters in baseball and in insurance. With Arbella, you'll always have the home team on your side. Arbella understands what it's like to live and drive in New England because it's something they do every day. Arbella here for good. Holliday, the right-hand slugger, and the first pitch to him is upstairs for ball 1. He is 5 out of 17 with a home run and 4 RBIs so far in this World Series. So he's had some big moments. Nobody on base. Sox up 1-0. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. Good fastball. A lot of late life on that to sneak it by Holliday, and the count's 1-1.
Again, fastball in, crowding him. I don't really remember too many guys in this lineup really turning on fastballs. Matt Adams, I think, one point hit a double down the right field line, but other than that, they really try to stay at the middle of the field, and I like this approach by Johnny.
The 1-1 pitch. That's up and in for a ball. The count goes to 2-1. It was on that shot down the line by Adams. I think that's where Victorino hurt himself. That's where he injured that back, re-injured it. That's something that Shane has been dealing with off and on all season for the most part. Here's the 2-1 to Holliday. Swing, blooper, foul over the net behind the plate, and the count goes to 2-2.
Good cutter by Johnny, located in.
Well, he had a terrific cutter in game 1, didn't he?
No, he did. Once he established inner half, the backdoor cutter that he was throwing to righties, it's one thing to have the hitter set up for it. It's another thing to execute the pitch. And that's exactly what he did. Can he do it again tonight?
Trying to put away Holliday for his first K. Here's the 2-2. Too high. So the count is full. Beltran is on deck. Red Sox ahead 1-0 in the first inning. So far in 4 postseason starts, Jon Lester has fanned 22 men in 27 innings. And a batting average against him of .216, a 3-2. Cut on and missed. Down he goes, strike 3. So he blows away Holiday, and a very fast start for Jon Lester. He gets them in order, 1, 2, 3. And after one in St. Louis, it's the Sox 1 and the Cardinals nothing. So now in the second inning, up 1-0, it'll be Bogaerts, Drew, and Ross. David Ross getting another start. Big question is, will he start the next game behind the plate? Will he catch John Lackey in Game 6 at Fenway? The pitch. Xander takes outside, ball 1.
That'll be an interesting decision because Lackey and Salty have really connected here in his last couple of starts. Lackey's given him a lot of credit.
The 1-0 pitch to Bogaerts is cut on and missed. I think the other side of that coin is Saltalamacchia is not hitting at all. He's striking out in bunches, and he's made a couple of critical throwing mistakes. So is it worth it? And Ross is an outstanding catcher, too. The 1-1 is down low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, the question I would have is, do you feel he needs a couple of days off to clear his head, or do you feel that nothing's going to change, right?
Talking
It's only a couple
Salty.
of days. Yeah, with Salty.
Yep.
And you go with Ross in Game 6.
Here's Wainwright's 2-1. Swing and a miss by Bogaerts. Very aggressive cut. But he came up empty. 2-2. Xander for the series has 3 hits. He's 3 for 13. He's impressed everyone with his poise. The pitch waved at and missed. Good breaking ball to strike him out. And it's 4 Ks for Wainwright. He's only seen 6 Red Sox.
Well, this is that curveball we were talking about, right out of the zone. That the Red Sox did such a good job first game laying off of, but after throwing that fastball by Xander, I think he cheated a little bit out in front of this one.
Red Sox have a postseason record, 146 strikeouts. They've been tied with the 2010 Giants entering this game. But it will just be a footnote if they win.
Stephen Drew's been striking out a lot, of course, as he gets in on the left side. And the first one to Stephen is a fastball in tight for ball 1. He's 1 for 12 in the series. 4 for 47 in the postseason with 17 Ks. Bases empty. 1-0 Red Sox here in the top of the second inning. And a pitch from the righty is taken for a strike.
You know, we talk so much about the defense he's given you here in the World Series. It really is amazing. He's not taking his offensive struggles into the field because he's been as bad as he's been at the plate. He's been as good in the field, really.
He really has. Tremendously smooth, the 1-1 pitch. That's a fastball drilled in for a strike. Now 1-2 on Drew. David Ross on deck. We did wrap up the Giant part of the order. Remember, when batters 3 through 6 homer, Giant Glass donates $200 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Massachusetts. The 6'7" right-hander Wainwright. Here's the 1-2. Swing, roller, foul off to the right. Not hard hit. Wainwright made back-to-back starts against one team once during the regular season, and he lost both of them. Against Cincinnati, August 28th, and again on September 2nd. Of course, he's making back-to-back starts for himself here against the Red Sox. After losing Game 1. Here's the 1-2 home. Swing and a miss, and down goes Drew. He fans again for the 18th time in the postseason, make him 4 for 48. Boy, that curveball is really a dandy. It's dancing. So 5 strikeouts for Adam Wainwright. He struck outside in the first inning. He's trying to do it again in the second. And David Ross will dig in. David at .235 for the postseason. No home runs. 1 run batted in. Wainwright said he corrected what he did wrong the first time. The first pitch is up and in, ball 1. As far as that curveball is concerned. And did a lot of pitching into a mirror. Without the ball, of course. That could be dangerous. The 1-0 pitch. That is outside, just off the edge. 2-0 on Ross.
Well, he has shown a better breaking ball here, and he's kind of living with this, this fastball, a little cut on it late. We've seen that from him before. He's got a 4-seamer, but he really likes that cutter as well.
He delivers a 2-0. Swung on, a jam shot, fouled back to the net. That one ran in on the hands on David Ross. Jon Lester is the on-deck hitter. There's no denying that there's a different mode of attack for pitchers in the National League, especially when it comes to the use of the fastball.
They're more aggressive.
No
They
question.
use the fastball more in hitters' counts. Come to the American League, a lot of off-speed.
The 2-1 swing, loop foul back out of play. The prevailing wisdom in the National League is if I have a big number one, if I've got a big fastball 95, you're going to see it over and over until you prove to me I shouldn't throw it to you.
Exactly. Show me you can hit it first. There's no reason for me to waste a curveball or change up on you if you can't hit my number one.
Now the crowd is up, waving their towels over their heads in this sea of red. Here's the 2-2. That's upstairs for a ball. Now 3-2.
And one thing to keep an eye on here defensively, too, both corner guys, Alan Craig and David Freese, don't move very well. So pull side, both righties and lefties, pull side with Ross up. Freese is on the line. And Craig is doing the same thing when it's lefties are up. They're going to give away the single to their left, but they don't want to give away doubles.
3-2 pitch to Ross. Swung on and missed. A high fastball, and down he goes. So he strikes out 3 in a row. Wainwright has fanned 6 in the first 2 innings. The Red Sox did score right away in the first inning, though, and we go to the bottom of the second in St. Louis. It's the Red Sox 1 and the Cardinals nothing. Lester has a streak going of 14 and a third scoreless innings in the World Series after his first inning. It's the 6th longest for any pitcher to begin his career. Christy Mathewson's start of career record of 28 straight scoreless innings is out of his reach tonight, but he could surpass the next longest streak, Jim Lonborg, of 17 innings in 1967 for the Sox. Here's Beltran, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Beltran so far 3 for 10 in the World Series. He was left at the plate with the bat in his hands in the 9th inning last night when Wong was picked off by Koji. Next one swung on, line drive, base hit into right center field, looped over the head of a leaping Dustin Pedroia, and Beltran is aboard. He's really not driving the ball in this series, but he's getting some hits.
Yeah, a little curveball. David Ross wanted this ball down and in. You know, Johnny, even in the first inning, was getting some swings and he was getting strikes, but the location isn't as crisp, you know, as we saw in Game 1. You know, missed location with that curveball, and his missed location with some fastballs. Like I said, even though he's getting the results, the first 4 hitters not as crisp as maybe he was in Game 1.
So work from the stretch here against Yadier Molina as the Cardinals have their first base runner leading off the second inning. Molina having a good series. He's 6 for 16. It's 375. Right hand hitting catcher. And Lester fires outside, ball 1. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Sports Authority, the official sporting good retailer of the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox ahead 1-0 in the second. Molina, a man who can be doubled up. Right hand hitter, catcher speed. The pitch cut on and missed. That one disappeared. Good fastball at 93 inside.
Now this one was located. This was 93 in. David Ross did not move his glove.
Exactly where Ross set up the target. Right in the center of that mitt. Beltran leading at first base. Nobody out. And the pitch. Cut on and missed. A good high fastball at 94. He has good velocity tonight.
Yeah, he does. Now you got Molina to swing through this one after dotting a fastball in on him. So now you got him really worried about the inner half, which is such an effective thing for a pitcher. So now if you can execute something away, or you try to make him think about it and go cut her down and in.
The gimpy Alan Craig is on deck. He surprised everyone starting tonight. The pitch. Swing popped up, foul over to the right side, off into the crowd. And that'll be a souvenir here in St. Louis. They'll be jam-packed in again tonight, over 47,000 strong. And what will be, without question, the last game of the season in this ballpark. Both of these teams ready to travel after tonight's game or tomorrow morning. Sox will be traveling right after the game back to Boston for Game 6. The pitch, breaking ball just outside to make it 2-2 on Molina. Molina on his way to what will be a 6th consecutive Gold Glove. I think there's very little debate about who is the best defensive catcher in baseball. It's number 4 for the St. Louis Cardinals. He asks for time now. He's also an outstanding hitter. He hit .319 during the regular season. He's gotten worlds better in the offensive categories over the last few years. He's really made a big jump there. He's a very dangerous hitter. Here's the 2-2. Swing popped up again over the top of the Cardinal dugout. That'll make the stands. Northeast Electrical Distributors is New England's #1 source for electrical products and services, and invites contractors, industry, and facility managers to visit needco.com for a powerful online experience. Pretty good battle here between Jon Lester and Yadier Molina. Beltran leading at first. Here's the pitch home. And it's in there. Strike 3. Got him looking. He punches out Molina.
It was that backdoor cutter again. He's pounding fastballs in. I mentioned that cutter. He had such a great location with it in game 1 once he exposed hitters on the inner half. And again, Ross goes right to a 2-2 count. And again, dots the outside corner. Great to see he's got location of that pitch. He was so effective for him.
You got the feeling Molina recognized it, but it was too late by the time he did, and he could not trigger. So 1 man out, and now Craig to get in. He is really limping around. It was almost painful to watch him take ground balls during batting practice today. He surprised everyone by starting. He takes a fastball in there for strike 1.
He went to manager Mike Matheny late this afternoon and said he wanted to play. He was not in the original lineup.
And that sprained foot of his, that left foot, he has a special guard right on the top of it in case he fouls one off. You might hear him scream in pain way up here if he fouls one off that foot.
Lester's cutter, he could be in trouble.
A 1-pitch swing, ground ball to short, bobbled by Drew, picks it up, on to Pedroia 1, on to first, double play. Red Sox turn 2 despite the bobble. At the end of 2, 1-0 Red Sox on the Shaws, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Wainwright's pitch is in there for a strike.
We struck out 5 straight. How do you feel about this at bat, Joe?
Did you mark the K down yet on your scorecard? You never know in this game, especially the way this series is going. He pokes a foul off the end of the bat, skimming off the top of the Red Sox dugout into the third base seats, and it's 0-2. This week at Shaw's, be sure to pick up Driscoll's 16-ounce strawberries, or 6-ounce raspberries, 2 for $5. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the Red Sox Radio Network. Wainwright's 0-2. Breaking ball low and away.
He took that one like he knew it was coming.
Yeah. He was a center fielder when he wasn't pitching. He'll tie a record for consecutive strikeouts if he fans him here. The pitch. And he dribbles one up the third base line. Fair ball. Molina picks it up, fires to first for the out. So he put it in play, rolled it about 15 feet up the third base line, and that prevents this pitcher from tying the strikeout record for consecutive strikeouts in the World Series, which is 6. Horace Eller of the Cincinnati Reds in 1919. That's, of course, when the Chicago White Sox, known as the Black Sox, fixed the series, so maybe some of those were intentional. Mo Drabowski, the Hartford native. The late Mo Drabowski struck out 6 straight Dodgers in 1966 in Game 1 coming out of the bullpen. That was an Oriole sweep of the Dodgers. Sandy Koufax last year. Here comes Ellsbury. He struck out his first time up, and he takes one running inside, ball 1. So Lester breaks the strikeout streak. How about that?
Let's get Ellsbury going here a little bit lost the last few games, especially out here in St. Louis.
Here it is, and he swings and loops one in the air, foul territory. Third baseman Freeze makes the catch behind the coach's box. 2 men down. That makes Els 3 for 18 in this World Series. 2 quick outs for Pedroia, who ripped a double down the left field line on a hanging breaking ball and scored the only run of the game. Follow every pitch during the World Series at MLB.com at bat, the #1 mobile app for live baseball. He has 4 extra base hits in the postseason, all doubles. Wainwright, who's 32 years old, from Brunswick, Georgia, steps off and goes to the rosin bag. He first signed with the Braves, who drafted him, and was traded to the Cardinals in a deal involving J.D. Drew. J.D., of course, had his best year with the Braves. Low and away, ball one. Two men out, base is empty here in the third. Here's the pitch, and Petey takes a breaking ball outside. Tony La Russa, the former Cardinal manager, is here. Whitey Herzog, the Hall of Fame manager, is not here. He broke his hip recently. In fact, representative of the Hall of Fame went out to visit him today at his home. The pitch in there for a strike. He's in great spirits. Tony La Russa, of course, will join him in the Hall of Fame before too long. Here's the pitch to Petey, and he swings, grounds it weakly toward the middle. The shortstop Cosma has it, fires to first, gets him by a step. Petey was motoring down the line, but he's out 6-3. And so he's retired 8 straight since the double by Ortiz after 2.5. 1-0 Red Sox on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. All right, here we go to the last half of the third inning. David Freese, the batter. He's been struggling. 1 of 12 in the World Series, 168 in the postseason overall, and he takes it low, ball one. Freese, the postseason hero, NLCS and World Series MVP in 2011. He's had a couple of tough years since then, played by bad ankles. He grounds this one toward the middle. Drew can't get it through in the left center, a base hit. Stephen was swung over toward the third base side and couldn't reach it, so for the second straight inning, the leadoff man has a single for the Cardinals, and it brings up Pete Cosma, the shortstop, who's 0 for 8 in the World Series, 152 overall in the postseason, 5-4-33.
Well, fastball away from Lester, and Freese, just like you said, has been struggling here in this postseason, but he gets enough of it up the middle. Stephen Drew shaded him a little bit in the hole.
So the number 8 hitter, Cosma. They won't be bunting with a pitcher spot on deck unless it's for a base hit. Cosma had the struggles behind Wainwright in the first inning of Game 1, dropping that throw and making another error in a ground ball. Lester from the set delivers. Cosma bunts, pushes it first base side. Lester has an underhand flip and out at first. Oh, somehow it didn't hit him in the head. Lester, who has some trouble throwing to bases, underhanded it to the first baseman, Ortiz. That was certainly a bunt for a base hit, and he almost had it. Somehow he dropped it just over the head of the batter, Cosma.
Probably bunted a little bit too far. You know, you're going on scouting reports. You know Jon Lester doesn't throw the ball very well, but he bunted it hard enough to where Johnny could barehand this ball and just a little shovel flip. He didn't have to throw it. You know, you get the advanced scouting, you know he doesn't handle the ball very well at all. So you're trying to get him to throw to these bases, but he just flipped it.
If the throw hit him, he'd probably be called out because he was way inside the restraining line. So here's Wainwright. They'll give him a sacrifice, although he's certainly bunting for a hit.
Well, not only are you testing Jon Lester, but you're also testing David Ortiz there as well.
The pitch to the 6'7" pitcher, swing and a miss at a cutter down and in. Adam Wainwright in the postseason is 0 for 7.
But in season 211, 6 RBIs. That's an indication he can swing it a bit.
Not too bad. The pitch, swing and a foul to the right of the screen, out of play. A Geico text question. With all the unpredictable happenings, what outlandish things are going to happen the rest of the series? Text your answer to 37937, brought to you by Geico, where you can save on car insurance at 1-800-947-AUTO, at geico.com, or at a Geico office. Here comes the 0-2, and he takes it down and in by his back foot, a hard cutter.
Because sometimes these pitches, like you said, 211, that's pretty respectable. But Lester's got to remember, it's still 211. You know, it's good for a pitcher, but you go out there, execute your pitches, you still get this guy.
John sets, looks at the runner at second and deals 1-2, and he swings and misses strike three. Tried to hold up on a cutter down and in. He was overmatched right there. Third strikeout for Lester. 2 down for Carpenter, who grounded to first his first time up. You're planning a spring fundraiser community service project. Register now for Rally Against Cancer with the Jimmy Fund. Log on to rallyagainstcancer.org/now. Give $5 to the Jimmy Fund. Wear your Red Sox gear to work or school on opening day at Fenway, April 4th. It's a fun way to raise money to fight cancer with the Jimmy Fund. And you could also win a visit from a Red Sox player. Lou, the middle school in Marshfield's won 5 out of the last 6 years, I think. And they've had the Red Sox player there every year.
Really?
Played Buckholz most recently.
I like it. You have any pull down there? Is that what's going on? Or?
Well, it's more in your neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah, they work very hard at the middle school there. Here's the pitch. And it is low and inside, ball 1 to Carpenter. Grounded to first his first time up.
Yeah, you do see that in National League. A guy like Cosme, maybe a hit and run, make it first and third, or the sack bump, because they're not necessarily. They're more playing for this situation right here, right? 2 outs, leadoff hitter up. Still an opportunity to score a run.
The drive back in the grass in shallow right. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Cutter in there. Carpenter in the World Series now 5 for 19. 1-0 Red Sox. Back-to-back first inning doubles by Pedroia and Ortiz, producing the run. Cardinals have had 2 hits, both singles. John delivers, and it runs inside. Shane Robinson on deck.
That was that front door cutter. The cutter to that side of the plate, in on a lefty. Tried to get him to give up on it, and tried to come back at the corner of the plate, just a little bit inside.
John has thrown 35 pitches, 24 strikes. He's been powerful. He's ready for the 2-1. Left-hand hitter awaits. Here it comes, and he swings and fouls it to the left into the mezzanine level.
ID.
94-mile-an-hour fastball as we take 10 seconds on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Hey, Michael Howley here, Game 5 in St. Louis. We will analyze the game with you tomorrow starting at 2, WEEI 93.7 FM, Lawrence, Boston.
Go.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner leading at second. Lester delivers, and Carpenter takes a little high. Missed with a fastball again in 94. Pretty much averaging 94 with that fastball, Lou.
Yeah, he's been living there. That location maybe a little bit off compared to Game 1. Remember, David Freese at second base doesn't run very well, but it's just a big outfield. I wonder if you get the arms out there. Maybe a Johnny Gomes might have a chance, or Nava.
The payoff pitch coming to Matt Carpenter. Here it is. And he takes strike 3 call. Got him on a pitch over the inside corner. Carpenter had sprinted toward first base. Turned around in shock. Flips the bat away and says something to Bill Miller, but he's out of there.
There's that front door cutter we were talking about that just missed before. This one a little bit better one. Carpenter thinks this ball's in, but this is a cutter. He gave up on it. He didn't get a good look at it.
He really was shocked, or so it appeared, unless he's a very good actor. So after 3, 1-0 Red Sox on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Here's Ortiz leading off in the 4th. He swings and grounds a foul first base side. He hit the first pitch down the right field line for a double. He is now in the World Series 9 for 12. I wonder if he's chasing in the first pitch so he doesn't get pitched around.
You know, it is amazing because that first pitch, base open, how hot he is, he could have very easily have taken, not been in swing mode to see if they're going to pitch to him or not. He comes out hacking.
Here's the pitch, and he swings and lines one to right field. Another base hit. He beat the shift, hitting it over the head of the second baseman. Carpenter was 20 feet back and right between him and the right fielder Beltran. David Ortiz is 10 for 13 in the World Series, and he's reached base now 14 times in 18 plate appearances. Can you believe it?
769, is that a good average? Is that a good average to have?
I've heard it's pretty good.
After a few games?
I've only heard of it in bingo.
Well, I could tell you this one. Was it Mickey Hatcher, I believe?
Billy Hatcher.
Billy Hatcher, rather. Sorry, I think
Former
this
Red
has
Sox.
the record of 750 record in the World Series. Only 15 plate appearances.
Yeah,
Davis
that was
might
the
challenge
for
that
the,
one.
for the Reds in their sweep of the A's in '90. The pitch to Gomes, swing and a miss. Johnny took a brilliant curveball for call strike 3, his first time up.
It was interesting to hear the crowd reaction when he scalded that line drive into right. The crowd was like, "Oh, again, he's on again."
Same effect as a walk, but I'm sure they're wondering why are they throwing him anything near the strike zone. The pitch is taken high.
Oh, you're screaming a few of those too. The base is open. What are we doing?
It was really strange last night. They pitched around him, practically intentionally walking with a man at first when they had the lefty ready. And Choate obviously didn't believe Choate could get him out. But then they removed the starter. Lynn brought in Manis, who gave up the Gomes homer. Johnny swings and pops it up foul, third base side along the line. Back goes Freeze, the third baseman near the stands, but it's about 3 rows back. So Gomes will get another shot here with a count 1-2.
Now, Lou Merloni is in demand here at postseason play. He's all year, but multiple platforms, also radio, television, everything. I think he's doing a film on the side. Yeah, how many times have you interviewed Johnny in the last 24 hours?
3. We did post game.
Last night, right after the game.
Did it last night on Comcast, one-on-one on the field, post game.
Wow.
And then with Sulkin Hawley from 6 to 7:20 before the pregame.
Run out of things to ask
He
him?
joined us as well. Yeah, I wanted to stay out of the interview. Just running out of things. I didn't know what to ask him. The third time. That goes along with sitting in the dugout pregame talking to him a little bit, too. He's sick of me.
Here's the 1-2, and it swung on. A fly ball hit the left field toward the line. Holiday running over. He reaches it and makes the catch with the grass and track meet for the out. He had to go about 20 feet to his right, but he got there.
That's one thing about Johnny. You know, he's such a good mistake hitter. You know, you execute your pitches. You're a righty. Throw that slider down the way, elevator heater. You know, if you make your pitches, he can be pitched to. But if you make a mistake, that's what that was. It was a breaking ball. He just got it off the end of the bat, but we've seen what he can do with mistakes. Good mistake hitter.
Nava took a call, third strike in the first inning. Red Sox baseball brought to you by Destination XL. There's a better way for bigger men to find clothes. Destination XL, big on being better. Greg playing in front of Ortiz at first. And Daniel takes a strike, pounding it over the inside half at 89.
You know, I like what John did with the lineup today. Kind of gave it a little bit of length behind David Ortiz. If they're not going to let David beat him, Johnny Gomes, Daniel Nava, Xander Bogaerts. Some guys had some good at-bats. Maybe not too many hits, but good at-bats. Xander's delivered a few times. And get some guys behind David. If they're going to put him on, at least knock him around.
Nava 2 for 11 in the series, and he swings and hits a soft one hopper to second. Here's the throw to the shortstop out. On to first, double play. Had fisted with it, but still a double play ball, even though it wasn't hit all that hard. 4-6-3, and that's that after 3.5. It is 1-0 Red Sox on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. David Ortiz 10 for 13 in the World Series, 769. The record, Billy Hatcher, who was later a Red Sox outfielder, got 9 for 12 at 750 in the 90 World Series for Cincinnati against Oakland. Low and inside ball one to Shane Robinson, who had a hard shot at Lester, deflected to Pedroia, who threw him out. It went 1-4-3 in the first inning. Red swept that series in a big upset over Oakland. The pitch. Strike called over the outside edge.
Yeah, Oakland was supposed to sweep them.
And that was the Jose Rio series. He was the MVP. And Billy Hatcher, of course, with a bat. The pitch is swung on, a bouncing ball foul outside of third. Billy Hatcher stole home for the Red Sox, a straight steal of home. A rarity.
You know, this team, this Cardinal lineup, kind of struggling against lefties a little bit, but Robinson now, it's 2 at-bats in a row. Remember last night, laced that double off Dubront that knocked him out of the game, and that ball hard up Lester's glove, his first at-bat.
He's had some good swings, the pitch, and he takes a strike over the outside corner. Down he goes looking. Robinson Can't believe it, but he's rung up 5 strikeouts for Lester. Another cutter that backed over the outside edge.
Well, here we go again. I mean, now we're starting to get reminiscent of Game 1 when Johnny Lester, I think, had 4 strikeouts looking to that side of the plate, 3 to righties, 1 to lefty. And he starts commanding that pitch to go along with the power in. He could be extremely difficult.
11 strikeouts in the game, 6 for Wainwright, 5 for Lester. Here's Holliday, who struck out on a fastball his first time up on a 3-2 pitch. He takes low and inside, ball 1. Well, he's really hitting the mitt, the target of Ross, time and time again, especially with a cutter. Fastball's been up a little bit in the zone, but it's had such good movement they haven't made solid contact. Pitch to Holliday is swung on a high drive to left center field deep. Back goes Ellsbury, and you can forget about this one. Gone. 1-1 to score. Matt Holliday with a blast. He hit it up on the hitter's backdrop, the grass hill out there in center field, and Jon Lester's given up his first run in the World Series, and we're tied at 1. Number 4 in the postseason for Holliday, his second of the World Series this year, and we're knotted at 1.
Well, you said fastball location's been off a little bit. This one here, you just have to miss it with the cutter in. Wants to come with that heater in. He elevates a little bit. You could say it's a mistake, but really Matt Holliday hasn't shown he can handle that fastball up and in. He stayed inside the baseball, drove that ball out of center. That's a strong boy.
There's Beltran, single to right center his first time up, and he takes a strike. So Holliday with a long home run. That's his 12th career postseason home run. He homered off Dempster in Game 1 in the 9th inning with a score 8-0. This is a little more meaningful to pitch. Inside. And Jon Lester, let's see, 16 2/3 innings of World Series competition before he allows his first run. There's a high drive. This is deep. Left center by Beltran. Back goes Gomes to the bullpen wall, and he makes the catch. Out by the Red Sox bullpen. The far end of it toward center field. He hauled it in. That one almost had a chance to go.
Well, this ball was really driven hard, but Johnny Gomes goes a long, long way for this. We talk about his defense out in left field, and sometimes it maybe doesn't look like the prettiest thing in the world, but he usually ends up getting it.
Wow, that was almost back-to-back shots. Just he steps back off the mound after collecting himself there. Yeah, that was crushed. Johnny made a very nice play. Now Molino struck out looking his first time up, and he takes low ball 1. So these long balls, and the Cardinals are certainly what have awakened this crowd. Just their second home run of the World Series, and Holliday has both of them.
It's back-to-back, really too comfortable at bats. Good swings for the Cardinals, getting on Johnny last couple.
Molina swings and drives a foul, first base side out of play. Well, the pitch to Holliday turned out to be pretty much right down the middle of the plate.
Yeah, he tried to get it in right down the middle, a little bit elevated. We've seen Holliday swing through a lot of fastballs up, but that one wasn't up. That was just top of the zone.
There it is, and Molina swings and lines one, caught by the leaping Drew for the out. Another hard hit ball, and Steven climbed the ladder and made a backhand stab. Well, he got very high in the air, great ups there to take a hit away from Molina, but they tie the score on the Holliday blast after 4. 1-1 on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Red Sox coming up against Wainwright now in the 5th inning. Bogarts, Drew, and Ross. And the first breaking ball is in there for strike 1. They get started on Xander, who struck out in the 2nd inning.
Wainwright, definitely a different guy tonight. First pitch curveball, good location. Not just to get me over. That was a good one.
The 0-1 to the rookie, waved at and missed. You can tell Xander is not picking him up. Having a very hard time. 6 strikeouts so far for Wainwright. He's 0-2 on the 21-year-old, and here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing, ground ball back to the mound, skips off the hill, behind second, glove by the second baseman Carpenter. He throws late to first base, and that'll be a base hit for Xander Bogaerts.
Oh, again, another 2-strike. Now, this time not working deep in the count, not waiting to get down to the 3-2 count. He takes this ground ball, fastball rather. Hey, he stayed right on. I think it was another curveball, 0-2. He stays right on this thing, hits it right back up the middle. It's enough of it, position-wise, to beat that thing out.
He's got himself a single to begin the 5th inning. 4th Red Sox hit tonight. They've out-hit St. Louis 4-3. It's Little Debbie snack time, and that means with over 150 varieties, including favorites such as oatmeal cream pies, Swiss cakes, and nutty bars, you can never go wrong with Little Debbie. Stephen Drew punched out his first time up. He struck out for the 18th time in 48 at-bats in the postseason. First pitch swinging a high fly ball. This is deep. Right field. Racing back Beltran. He's on the track, and he's there, and he makes the catch. Right near the wall. Right near the bullpen. Bogaerts retreats to first base, and that one was almost out of here by Stephen Drew. That is the best swing he's put on a ball seemingly in weeks.
I was just going to say, this ball is driven to the edge, pretty much right at the edge of the wall. Beltran gets there. But yeah, Stephen Drew hasn't made contact like that in a long, long time.
That's 375 out to that bullpen. 335 down the right field line here. He hit it a ton. Here's David Ross now. Ross whiffed in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Red Sox 1, Cardinals 1 here in the top of the 5th inning. Bogaerts the runner at first base. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by Samuel Adams. Samuel Adams, for the love of beer. And the pitch. Swing, ground ball, left side through for a base hit. Between Freese and Kozma, the third baseman and the shortstop. Sharp single for Ross going after the very first pitch. And the Red Sox are getting some good hacks here in the 5th inning. They have runners at first and second. Now Lester will be the batter with Ellsbury behind him.
Well, you got to believe he's hit a bunt. You got to move the runners. I know 1 out. You don't normally sacrifice bunt. This is National League style. You're the pitcher. It's first and second. You move them over, and you look for that 2-out single from Jacoby Ellsbury.
John was able to put a ball into play. A little squibber that was handled by the catcher Molina about 15 feet up the third base line in his first at bat. Should be looking to drop one down. Third baseman Freese is angling toward home plate. Craig, the first baseman, ready to charge. John is squaring. And the pitch. He offers and he misses it. He foul tips it into the mitt for strike 1.
There was a little coaching going on before that pitch with David Ross yelling out to Xander Bogaerts, thinking everybody knew it was a bunting situation. He said, hey, keep an eye on Yadier Molina. If he bunts through this ball, look for the pickoff. He can show him the motion. Xander, exactly, the play happened and Xander got back.
If you're not going to get the bunt down, a strikeout isn't the worst thing in the world either.
Ellsbury rubbing up his bat in the on-deck circle. 2 on, 1 out. Tie game. And the pitch to Lester. He squares the bunt. Takes a strike. It bounces out of the mitt to the right. Molina pounces on that, so no advance. And now the count is 0-2. John did not attempt to drop that one down. It was in and out of the mid of Yadier Molina.
Got to try it again.
Yeah, it was a breaking ball. And listen, Lester probably doesn't normally see a lot of breaking balls, so he gave up on it right over the middle of the plate. But you're right. 0-2 count, 2 strikes. You try it again.
Bogaerts at second. Ross at first with 1 away. The right-hander Wainwright checks the runner at second base over the shoulder, now delivers. Lester squares, pulls it away, and it's down low. So the count moves to 1-2. Red Sox 1, Cardinals 1, 5th inning.
It's real interesting with every single pitch. I'm sure Alan Craig charging does not feel good. That foot does not feel good. Freese is pretty much staying home. If you can push this ball down third base, you make him play it. That's the ideal situation.
Bogaerts is not getting much of a lead off second base. Very tight to the bag. Wainwright again sets. Lester squares to bunt. Here's the 1-2. It's a breaking ball low. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's 3 breaking balls in a row after the first fastball. Trying to get Johnny to maybe chase something here. Normally in a situation like this, I think you just power a fastball in and see if you can't make him move his hands a little bit and pop up the bunt. But he's going 3 breaking balls straight now.
He's gone to 2-2 on the Red Sox pitcher. Lester again turning to bunt now. Here's the 2-2. He squares and bunts a foul back behind the plate. That's strike 3. So Lester fans, 2 down. Runners at first and second for Jacoby.
Like you said, Joe, not the worst thing, you know.
Yeah.
You have him swing the bat, double play. At least now you got still have a man in scoring position with Jacoby Ellsbury up.
An overdue Jacoby Ellsbury. Time of the road ahead brought to you by the Maine Office of Tourism. The Red Sox will have tomorrow off, and then it'll be Game 6 of the World Series at Fenway Park. View the works of talented artists and artisans while enjoying great live music at the Village Art and Music Festival in Freeport, November 21 and 22. Go to visitmaine.com for more details. Now here comes the most important at bat of the night to this point. Jacoby Ellsbury has an RBI chance with runners at first and second, 2 down in the 5th. The pitch he's taking, and it's outside, ball 1. So far tonight he's had a devil of a time with Wainwright, who struck him out looking in the first inning and popped him up foul to the third baseman in the 3rd. Jacoby now 3 for 18 in a World Series, so he is overdue for an important moment, and it might be right now. Wainwright with a set and the pitch. Swing, roll, foul back behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Red Sox leadoff man. A base hit puts the Red Sox back in front. Bogart started the inning with an infield single. 1 out later, Ross ripped a single to left field through the hole. But Lester just struck out on a bunt attempt. And it falls to Jacoby. Wainwright again will stop at the belt. High the runner at second and delivered. Waved at and missed. Another breaking ball, 1-2 to count.
It's a good curveball again from Wainwright. Red Sox laid off of that pitch in game 1, but tonight it's got a little bit more bite to it. It's a better breaking ball and tougher to lay off.
Wainwright has struck out 7. Feels like most of them on that curveball, which is his money pitch. That's his put-away pitch. Ellsbury waiting. Now comes the 1-2 from the 6'7" right-hander on the way. And he bounced it up there. Stopped by Molina. Bounced that about 2 feet in front of the plate. 2-2.
We see a lot of balls bounce up to the plate. Not many of them get too far away from Yachty. You know, he smothers that ball. Guys aren't advancing at all.
So quiet back there. So calm.
Yeah.
Doesn't panic. He doesn't jab. Bogarts at second. Ross at first. Tie game 1-1 5th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ellsbury. 2 men out. And Wainwright again with a 2-2 home. Swing and a miss. He got him. He struck him out again for the second time tonight. Jacoby really being eaten up by that curveball. 8 strikeouts now for Wainwright through 5.
That was a real good one. You look back and see if that was a strike or not. That's a tough pitch to lay off. That's just, you got to tip your hat sometime. 50 pitches after 4 for Jon Lester. Wainwright, I believe, has got, 70 at this point after 5. So both pitchers in pretty good shape. This is pretty much shaping up exactly what we thought. But I would like to see Jon Lester get back into it. That last inning, that solo shot by Holiday, followed up by a couple other hard-hit balls. It was the middle of this lineup. I'd like to see him get a little locked in here, coming right back this next inning.
Well, 6, 7, and 8 now, starting off with Alan Craig, the right-hand batter, who hit into a double play his first time up. The pitch. Fastball drilled in for strike 1. Red Sox baseball brought to you by Herb Chambers Infinity, with locations in Boston and Westboro. We've got it at herbchambers.com. 6'4" left-hander Lester looks over the top of the black glove, takes a sign, and now delivers the 0-1. Cut on and missed. Another good pitch down and in on Craig.
You know, this is where, as an infielder, you got to know who's hitting. He cannot run. Worse than most people you've ever seen actually playing in this game. So anything close, you dive. If you knock it down, take your time. You still have a shot.
Badly sprained left foot. She's not recovered from the 0-2 pitch. Swing, chopper, right side. Pedroia in, up and over. Man gets him at first base. An easy play for Petey. And Craig is just jogging up that line if he doesn't feel he has to beat one out or can't. It's not going to be close at all. He's just jogging. I'm sure he's under orders.
Yeah, they don't want him to run. I mean, he's there for one reason, to step up to the plate with somebody on base and try to drive him in. Leading off an inning, if he gets a hit, you're talking about clogging up the bases. And it's too early to pinch run. You want to keep his bat in as long as you can.
One man out. We're tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cardinals hitting. David Freese, the batter. He singled to start the 3rd inning, but did not score in that inning. Their only run came on a Matt Holliday solo home run to center. Here's the pitch. It's up and away for ball 1. Our Geico text question of the game. This has been a very unpredictable series, as you know. What outlandish things are going to happen the rest of the series? If you want to use your imagination, text us your answer to 37937, the 10. And Freese looks at a strike. Tonight's question brought to you by Geico. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. Lester spins up a 1-1 pitch, and it's swung on and fouled on the ground back to the backstop. Right through the Cardinal logo. 2 Cardinals sitting on a baseball bat. Freese has homered once so far in the postseason. He's not had a very good run so far. Here's the 1-2, and it's down and in for a ball. In fact, even with his base hit in the 3rd inning, he's only 2 for 13 in this series, and he has not done damage. Nothing quite like his incredible performances in the 2011 postseason.
Boy, he was big for them. He's just physically just not the same guy right now.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with a high heater at 92. Freese strikes out. 2 gone for St. Louis here in the 5th inning.
Heater up, doing some pretty good cutters early in this count, but heater up, he can't lay off of it. But Freese, we mentioned those ankles. This is the World Series, man. You see what Craig is doing. You saw what Clay Buchholz did the other night. You might see Shane Victorino later in this game. Nobody is out there feeling 100%. But in the postseason, you go out there and you play. If it was the regular season, hey, maybe you take a week off here and there. It's a marathon. But right now, we're in the sprint portion of this year.
6 strikeouts in the book for Lester, and he has not walked a soul. He has 2 down in the bottom of the 5th inning, and now gets Pete Kozma, who tried to bunt his way on first time up. First pitch swung on, popped up, loop foul off first base. Big Papi has room on the grass, makes the catch, and the side is retired. Then through 5 in St. Louis. It's still the Red Sox 1 and the Cardinals 1 on the Shaws, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Red Sox have left 3 and 1 man left on base for St. Louis. So we're getting the pitchers duel we expected with Pedroia, Ortiz, and Gomes due here in the 6th inning. Petey tonight doubled and then bounced to the shortstop. This week at Shaw's, pick up 10.5 to 11.5 ounce Hershey's, Mars, Nestle Fun Size chocolate bars, 4 for $10. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the Boston Red Sox Radio Network. Third baseman Freese even with a bag near the line. Had very limited mobility in this infield. The pitch swinging a chopper foul, third base side, strike 1.
As I mentioned, really not testing the range. Obviously, the corner guys hit many ground balls in the holes, but both guys, pull side, Freese, he could probably pretty much fall over towards that line and touch the line. And when lefties are up, you see the same thing from Craig. They're protecting doubles.
Freese backs up a step or 2. Plenty of room to pull a base hit on the ground between the third baseman and the shortstop. Here's the 0-1, and he takes low and away. Wainwright, unlike Game 1 where he struggled with his command and walked the first batter he faced, has not walked a batter. He's fanned 8. He's allowed 5 hits. He's left 3. Ortiz to follow the pitch. Petey takes it low. Dustin batting second tonight.
Much like other than Game 1, it almost feels like these games don't start to the 6th. Right? It's both teams, whether it's the Red Sox sort of feeling out the starting pitcher, waiting for that second, third time around. Same thing with the Cardinals, and all of a sudden here we are now in the 6th. 1-1, but so many times it's just the game is now beginning.
2-1 the count. Wainwright delivers, and Petey tries to hold up and fouls it to the right, into the air, and into the seats. 47,436 the attendance. Red Sox won and the Cardinals won. Series tied at 2. We're in the top of the 6th inning with Pedroia leading off in a 2-2 count. Game 5. Here it is. And he swings, and it's a bounding ball to second. To his left, Carpenter has it and throws to first for the out, 1 down. Well, now you have David Ortiz, who ripped a double down the right field line in the first pitch, swung at the first pitch at a hard foul his second time up in the 4th inning, and then lined a single over the second baseman in front of the right fielder. What does he do here? Is he going to see anything near the strike zone?
I mean, you keep it away, right? Nothing you can drive. If you give up a single, so be it. But he's been aggressive with them early on. David, he's come fastballs in both times. He's been ready for both of them. Double the first at bat, followed the other one down the line, but surprising they've been that aggressive.
See what Red does here. He delivers, and David swings and hits a towering pop-up. Foul behind the plate, and this one's going to make the chairs. He had a big rip at that.
This was a cutter elevated up. Let me see David sometimes get that head out and really drive this ball.
Again, 10 for 13 in the series. He's been on base 14 times in 18 plate appearances. That includes the sac fly, which was nearly a grand slam in game 1. Wainwright delivers 0-1. He takes a breaking ball outside, try to get it in a bite at a slow breaking pitch, slower than most of his curveballs.
It is amazing. We think back of that Beltran stealing a grand slam from him. What the numbers he could be doing. Not that he's not already at historic pace.
Now the 1-1 pitch from the 6'7" righty, and it swung on and dribbled foul in the batter's box from a very slow breaking ball. David goes out in front of the plate and picks it up. Gives it to the bat boy. That was a tough pitch. He has 10 hits in the World Series. The rest of the Red Sox have 18 hits. They got 19 hits now.
I'm feeling like if they get David Ortiz out, this place is going to erupt.
Here comes the 1-2, and he takes it low, 2-2. The previous pitch that he fouled might not have been a strike.
Might have been a little bit down, but it was a good breaking ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases empty. The hottest hitter in the world at the plate. They overshift, of course. And the pitch, and he swings and pops it up. Third base side, and this one's going to get into the seats, foul and out of play.
You know, Wainwright is trying everything right now. Forget about what he's throwing, but in his windup, that was a quick, almost like a quick pitch from the windup. A couple pitches before, he took almost a few small steps, like it was a delayed windup to try to mess with the rhythm of David Ortiz at the plate.
A huge opening on the left side. Freese playing with a shortstop normally would. The other 3 infielders on the right side with the second baseman back in right field. And now the ball got loose on the stand, so it's still a 2-2 count to David. Pitch count now at 80 for Wainwright.
He's throwing everything at him, and David squaring everything up. So Wainwright trying to throw his timing off with different speeds in his windup.
He winds, he kicks in the 2-2. Swing and a shot towards center field. Back goes the center fielder Robinson, and he makes the catch. They retire Ortiz on a line drive just to the left of dead center, maybe 15 feet in front of the track. He hit it pretty well, but they were positioned well. They finally retire him.
Well, at some point, just the law of averages. He keeps squaring the ball up, it's going to eventually go to a fielder. And that time there, didn't exactly fool him. Curveball, he stayed on it, drove it, line drive to center.
He had 6 straight hits. And And in that, he also had 2 walks. Been on base, walked the time before that, so he's been on base 9 straight times. Here comes Gomes. Johnny takes a strike. He struck out looking at a fly ball to left. But 9 straight times on base for David. First time they retired him since the first inning last night. There's a ground ball and a half swing. Foul outside of third, grabbed by Freese. And it is 0-2 to Gomes. Wainwright has punched out 8, no walks.
Final game of the season here for these St. Louis Cardinal fans. They're starting to get excited.
47,436 fans here tonight. And the pitch to Gomes, and he takes a breaking ball low. He's done a lot of hooks tonight.
He's had a much better one, as you mentioned before. I think 23 in game 1, only 3 swings and misses. I don't know what the official number is, but it's be well over a dozen or so tonight.
3 of his strikeouts have been called third strikes. Here's 1-2 to Johnny. Fastball outside. That was close. Still throwing 93. Wainwright got the final out in the 06 World Series. Pitching out of the bullpen for the Cardinals. He was a rookie then as they beat the Tigers. He was hurt. Tommy John surgery, missed the entire 11 season, including the World Championship. The pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, and down he goes. Short hop by Molina, who tags Gomes. 9 punch outs for Wainwright. After 5.5, we are knotted at 1 on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. And he takes a fastball in there for a strike. He'll be followed by Carpenter and then Robinson. They've left only 1. The Red Sox have left 3. So there haven't been many scoring opportunities, really. That one's low and inside. A ball and a strike. Lester is 3-1 this postseason, 5-4 in his postseason career. And Wainwright takes it low, 2-1. Beautiful night in St. Louis. It was 61 at game time. Clydesdales marched around the field before the game, as they do in big games here. Swing and a miss. It's always a great sight.
It really is. See those stroll around the warning track pregame. Crowd loves it.
Of course, the arch hovering over center field of the downtown skyline here. The 2-2 pitch. And he's out of there. Strike 3 with a bat on his shoulder. Took a fastball. That's 7 strikeouts for Lester.
Always nice to get yourself in that situation and get a guy like Cosma last inning to end it. 2 quick outs, go after the number 8-hole hitter. So at least you buy yourself, in National League style, you buy yourself a free out before you get to the top of the order by going after and getting Wainwright.
Now the top of the order in Carpenter, who grounded to first and struck out looking on a 3-2 pitch he thought was ball 4. Red Sox baseball brought to you by IBM. Mid-sized businesses are the engines of a smarter planet. See more evidence at ibm.com/engines. Carpenter, the league leader in hits, takes a call strike. He had 199 hits and also scored a major league leading total of 126 runs. He has 5 hits in this series, 12 in the postseason, hitting under 200 for the postseason. Left-hand hitter swings and grounds it to first. Easy hop for Big Papi. He does it himself for the out.
He really changed this lineup, Carpenter, when he gets on base. You know, they don't hit a ton of home runs, so they really rely on him getting on. He did a great job of that all year long. When he goes, this offense usually goes.
2 out for Shane Robinson, who was shot off Lester's glove. It bounced to Pedroia, and he was retired 1-4-3 in the first last time up. He took a call third strike. Robinson out of Tampa, Florida State product, platooning in center field. Lester winds and works, and the pitch is a little bit low, ball one.
It's pretty impressive for Lester as far as being efficient. You know, he's got 7 strikeouts, only 67 pitches here with 2 outs in the 6th.
It's as efficient as we've ever seen him, really. He deals, and Robinson takes it low. Matt Holliday on deck. He's accounted for their run with a long homer. Red Sox will have Nava, Bogarts, and Drew scheduled in the 7th. By the way, Wainwright's thrown 86 pitches over 6. So he's in decent shape. Consider 9 strikeouts. That's not too many pitches. Either pitcher has walked a man. Two balls and no strikes. John delivers, and Robinson swings. It's a bounding ball to short. Easy hop for the charging Drew, and fires to first in time. 1, 2, 3 for Lester in the 6th. After 6 full, 1-1 on the Shaws WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. He delivers to Nava, and Daniel takes a breaking ball in there for a call strike.
Well, Wainwright continues with it, getting ahead of guys, throwing strikes. You know, 87 pitches, 59 strikes.
He's had tremendous command of everything. Hasn't come close to walking anybody. He deals, and Nava takes a strike. Daniel did work the count full in the 1st inning before he went down looking. Now he's looked at 2 breaking balls, and he's behind 0-2. Greg again very close to that first base line with his immobility.
Well, he's right on top of it, isn't he? The lefty up.
Falling across the line. The pitch grounded foul in the batter's box. Nava 2 for 12 in the World Series.
Tough to work these National League pitchers, because if you try and do that and just wait for ball 4, it's going to be 0-2 in a heartbeat.
They don't nibble. They come right after you, especially with the power arms the Cardinals have, and Michael Walker looming large in Game 6. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and he swings and foul tips it into the mitt. Down he goes. Double figures and strikeouts. That's 10 for Wainwright.
No, another curveball, a little backdoor curveball that Nava swings over. That's the thing we've seen a lot, probably more likely in that ALCS. When that pitcher's got that breaking ball working, he can throw it for strikes early in the count.
And he can throw it to righties and lefties.
No question about it. It's difficult. Adds a few miles per hour when you do see the fastball because the curveball's so good.
Now Bogarts, he struck out and then hit an 0-2 pitch up the middle behind second for an infield hit. Swing and a miss. Waving weakly to curve away. Boy, he's thrown strike 1 with consistency.
He's all over the plate.
The 0-1 delivery. And he swings, grounds one up the middle, and it sneaks through for a base hit. He hit a curveball there. Bogarts waited. That one caught a little more of the plate and hit a big bounding ball directly over second base. So 1 on, 1 out.
Oh, you asked me before, how do you hit a curveball? The best way to hit a curveball is to stay on it and hit it right back up the middle. And that's what Xander does after the first pitch. A little cutter away, he swung around, gets a curveball. Looks like he's been throwing everybody else. This one maybe a little bit up, but he stays on it enough to hit it up the middle.
That brings up, for me, one of the most interesting at-bats of the night because, and you say, well, it's Stephen Drew. He's having a horrible postseason. But he clobbered one his last time up. He took Beltran all the way to the wall and right.
He pulled it a little more, would add a home run. He struck out his first time. 1 on, 1 out. The pitch, and Steven takes a fastball outside, ball 1.
Lou, you know this is true. Sometimes that's all it takes to get a hitter locked in again.
You know, all you need is proof. All you need is any kind of confidence. You know, proof that you can barrel the ball, proof that you can hit the ball, and it can just make you that much more comfortable in the box.
6 hits for the Red Sox. Bogarts has 2 of them. Wainwright at the belt. It is 1-0. And a breaking ball drops in for a strike.
Well, he must hide that beautifully. It must look just like the fastball.
You watch it on TV and it just sort of rolls in there. But when you're in the box, it's not a slow roll. It's a tight bender. It's a tight break. You give up on it, and that thing is powering through the zone.
Craig is holding Bogaerts at first, of course, with a count 1-1. Here's the pitch, and he swings and pops it up foul third base side. This will get out of play behind the Red Sox dugout.
What hitters say about his curveball, what makes it so effective, is that he throws downhill. He is up high as it is at 6'7", and he adjusted his delivery a couple of years ago to get the maximum on that curveball. So it's just deadly. The bottom falls out of it.
Keeps his mechanics in tune very well. Let guys that tall have trouble with that. Now it's a 1-2 count, 1 out, runner at first. David Ross on deck, then Lester due.
No action in the bullpen. No thought of pinch hitting for Johnny if he comes up.
Wainwright is ready. The pitch, and Steven takes outside. That was close. He missed with an off-speed pitch.
That's a good take. Ball's just off the plate, outside. Try to go a little backdoor curveball.
He's varied the speeds on his curve, but it is a downer. 2-2. 96 pitches for Wainwright. He sets at the belt. He kicks and deals. Outside. Now one of his few 3-ball counts tonight.
Well, here's the question now with 1 out. Do you send Xander Bogaerts? Stephen Drew's been swinging through a lot of pitches, and we all know what Yachty can do behind the plate.
18 punch-outs in the World Series, or in the postseason for Stephen.
But if he rakes one and you send him, he's at third base.
Yeah, I like to see him send him. I like to see him get some aggressiveness and see what happens.
Here's the stretch. Bogaerts leads. He holds the pitch. Low and away. There's his first walk. Ball 4. He missed down and away with another hook. And there are 2 men on with 1 man out, and David Ross really becomes a critical hitter here with Lester on deck.
Well, he does, and once again, absolutely no action in that bullpen. And we talked about it. It is the 7th inning. Jon Lester's up here, but he's got 69 pitches through 6. He is cruising. And you're right, this does become a big at-bat, but it'll be like you said, Stephen Drew barreled the ball, drove the ball to right center, a little more positive feeling at the plate, and drew his first walk.
Ross with a strikeout and a ground ball single into left field. 7th inning, tied at 1. Finally, Wainwright issues his first walk. He's fan 10. Here's the set. The pitch to Ross. Fastball in for a strike.
Now I got a question for both of you. What if he walks Ross here and loads the bases for Jon Lester? And you don't hit for Lester, but there's nobody warming up in that bullpen.
Try a safety squeeze. Their bullpen busy. Carlos Martinez just got up. 0-1 to count. Wainwright to the set. And the 0-1 to Ross. Fastball in tight, so he's throwing him 2 straight fastballs.
I'm surprised, I wonder if both of you are, that John Farrell has nobody warming up right now.
Yeah, I am, just to give him the option. You know, like you said, I mean, infield single here, ball 4, hit by pitch, bases loaded, 1 out. You got an opportunity with Wainwright, just delivered his 100th pitch, maybe a little tired, issued his first walk.
Ross 4 for 15 against Wainwright with a home run. He's ready for the 1-1. Here it comes, and he swings and pops it up foul. Here comes Molina back on the track, but it just over the screen and out of play. It's a vertical screen here, does not extend back. It dropped into the box seats.
Now, I promise you, if this were a regular season game in July, and these were 2 National League teams, without question the bullpen would be active right now. And Jon Lester would not be in the on-deck circle. He might be in the on-deck circle, but they would have someone ready to hit for him.
You know, maybe it speaks to the bullpen situation for John Farrell, and he figures, hey, this guy's 69 pitches. I can get 9 from him the way he's throwing the baseball right now.
He's got the meat of the order coming up in the last of the 7th.
Exactly.
1-2 the count. The set by Wainwright. And the pitch. Ross swings and lines one down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Hitting on the track, rolling into the corner. Bogart scores, and a fan touches it. And it's a two-bagger, but 1 run scores. Drew has to go back to third. That's a tough break. I think he would have scored easily.
Boy, I tell you, he stays on this curveball. This is a good curveball. Just maybe in a little bit more than Wainwright would have liked. He probably wanted that ball down and away. That ball's fair by what, about a 1.5 feet?
And it bounced into the seats. Had it been fan interference, then they could have sent the runner home because he would have scored. But it's 2-1 Red Sox on a double by Ross. He knocks in his 2nd run of the postseason. So here's Lester with the infield in, runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out.
What a big double from David Ross right there with the pitcher up. We're sitting here questioning, he might have missed an opportunity not have to pinch hit for Jon Lester to let him hit. Now, at least you got one across.
So Bogart scores. Let's see if Lester's talked to Butterfield, the coach. He's going to swing away, and he fouls at strike 1.
ID.
Interesting decision there to let him swing.
Yeah. Well, the infield then, it'd be tough to get a bunt down and score. Drew from 3rd. Of course, maybe if he got it toward Craig, who's so immobile.
Well, that would be the game plan, I would think. Force Craig to field it and gun home.
Zegras joining Martinez in the bullpen. 2-1 Red Sox. David Ross with a critical double here. 1 out in the 7th.
I think if you're wondering, maybe you still want to do a pinch hit. Now you got the lead. It's 2-1, and Jon Lester is rolling right now. You want to keep him on the mound.
He's never had a hit in his big league career. The pitch out, nothing doing. They smelled out a suicide squeeze.
Well, now you feel really good about Jon Lester batting here, no matter what he does.
Right.
Who cares now? He's got the lead.
Now you've got the lead. Regardless of what happens here.
We haven't seen a suicide squeeze bunt all year. It's tough to do with a guy that
it really is.
Never bats.
And that's maybe a National League team thinking the guy can handle the bat a little better than he can.
Grounded out 1-3 and struck out. 1-1 the count. Wainwright deals. Lester swings, hits a ground ball to the pitcher, and it'll be an easy out at first with the runners holding. He did make contact, but he had to drive it through the infield to get anybody home, and that was hit very weakly. So now Eckersley, or Ellsbury, I should say.
Dennis, if he's hitting, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I know it. At least they don't have to face him on the mound. But Ellsbury in a key spot once again. He struck out looking. He fouled to 3rd. And then with 2 on and 2 out in the 5th, he struck out swinging.
Well, another opportunity for Els. This is a big at-bat for him. He's looked a little lost here today, kind of in between. Hasn't been able to lay off that breaking ball. He's been behind. He's been throwing a lot of cutters in on him, getting in on him. And the cutters in, curveballs away. And Jake sort of looked like he's been in between both of them.
Hitless in his last 8 at-bats. A base hit could make it 4-1. It's 2-1 now. Runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 down. 105 pitches for Wainwright. Wells with the strikeout looking, a foul to 3rd and a strikeout swinging. Wainwright delivers the pitch. Swing and a miss. He worked him inside with an 89-mile-an-hour cutter.
Yeah, there's that cutter. He's been really crowding him in with this cutter early in counts and seeming to finish him off with that breaking ball down and away. See what he does here, 0-1.
That'd be the biggest hit of his career.
It really could be.
2-1 Red Sox. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, 2 down, top of the 7th. Here's the set by Wainwright in the pitch. And he swings and loops one center field, and it gets down for a base hit. Here comes Drew, right behind him. Ross, throw to the plate, a chance to get him. He slides, and he's out. Robinson throws him out. They got him with a couple of feet to spare, but the Red Sox do get 1 run on the base hit by Ellsbury. Good throw by Robinson, the tag by Molina. It was a soft one-hopper into center field. Robinson charged it well. The throw was slightly up the first base side, but he one-handed it and tagged the sliding Ross coming in. All right, here's Holiday. And the pitch, and he takes ball 1 low.
You know, the one thing I noticed on that play was Yachty left home plate to catch the ball, secure the ball, and then dove back to the plate. That play at Fenway, we saw Salty try to stretch.
Pitch is swung on, check swing roller foul into the First base stands 1-1.
So Salty tried to, with his left foot, tried to hold on to the plate, keep his foot on the plate rather than go get it and then dive back to the plate. Yachty did.
Got to catch it first. Holiday struck out and then hit a booming home run just to the left of dead center onto the berm out there. His second of the series, the pitch, and he fouls one off his foot. So Lester ahead. Tazawa warming for the Red Sox. 7th inning. Red Sox lead it 3-1.
It was a big part of the order here, big inning for Jon Lester. I mean, you get through the meat of this order, would feel pretty comfortable bringing him back out in the 8th.
No doubt.
Bottom 3rd.
He's ahead 1-2. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, left center field, not too deep. Ellsbury moving over. He's there, and he has it. He lunged at an off-speed pitch and hit it off the end of the bat. So Holiday retired. One man down for Beltran. The line to single to right center, and for a moment, looked like he put them ahead. He had a long drive to left center field, and Johnny Gomes caught it at the far end of the Red Sox bullpen right up against the fence. Now they show so many angles of that play at the plate. Low and away the ball had it beaten.
I think the first thing that hit the plate for David Ross was his chest.
Yes, it was. But after he'd probably been tagged by then.
Chest and then his beard.
Here it comes, and Beltran, it's a high fly ball. This is into shallow left, very playable for Stephen Drew, who's there and calling, and he has it for the second out. 2 very quick outs for Jon Lester. Hey, he's got 74 pitches over 6 2/3.
Yeah, listen, right now you just got to keep it rolling right now. 76 pitches, 75, that is absolutely nothing. Because I was warming up in the bullpen, I'd keep him right out there, right where he is. This is Jon Lester's game.
Red Sox baseball brought to you by Sports Authority, the official sporting goods retailer of the Boston Red Sox. Yadier Molina struck out looking, lined a bullet, and Drew made a leaping catch at shortstop to rob him of a hit. That ended the 4th inning when they got their run on the Holiday homer.
Lester's got it rolling. 10 straight he's set down.
He deals. Yadier takes outside. 1-0.
Gonna go first pitch, cutter away, just missed the outside corner. Yeah, listen, this is Johnny's game. If anything, you hand the ball personally to Koji.
1-0 pitch, swinging a foul, first base side out of play. They've been lunging for pitches here in this inning. 1-1. No walks, 7 strikeouts for Lester. The first walk that Wainwright issued with 1 out of the 7th really helped the Red Sox. Set up the rally, the pitch. Breaking ball, strike over the outside edge. Good curveball.
Seen a handful of those. Seen too many. First inning, he missed location on a couple of them. For some reason, David Ross wants to calmly walk out and have a discussion.
Ender Bogarts with a 1-out single. Drew walked on a 3-2 pitch, a good at bat, and Ross hit a ground rule double down the left field line. After Lester bounced out, Ellsbury singled to center to drive in the 3rd run on the play Ross thrown out at home. Lester winds, and the pitch to Molina, bouncing in there, 2-2.
Lester has given the Red Sox the performance an ace gives in a huge game. He's done it again, not the first time for him, but what you come to expect from him is performances like this.
Well, they matched one another for 6 innings.
Paper airplane ends up by the mound. Lester walks over to pick it up.
But you match pitch by pitch, 1-1, right? Go after 6 innings, and it's just who's going to be the first one to give in. Wainwright had the higher pitch count, Lester more efficient. And so it seemed like Adam Wainwright lost a little bit last inning. We've seen a lot of that, right? Just 1 inning, boom, it just goes.
With a lot of their pitchers.
It may be done. The bullpen's busy. The pitch just outside with a fastball, 3-2.
Well, he hasn't walked anybody. He's gone full now here on Molina.
Carlos Martinez continues to warm.
Wainwright's sitting on 107 pitches.
Lester's 3-2 pitch coming to Yadier Molina. Here it is. And he swings and lines one, caught by Pedroia. Backhand catch, high for the out that retires the side. After 7 full, 3-1 Red Sox on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Dustin Pedroia will step in, leading off the 8th inning now here in Game 5 against Carlos Martinez, who delivers. Swung on a lash foul out of play to the left. Petey is doubled, grounded to the shortstop, grounded to the second baseman. Now, when he came out after the end of the inning, after the line drive to Pedroia, Jon Lester was chatting with the trainer and with his catcher, Ross. We have no idea about what. The 0-1. That is in there for a called strike. 0-2 quickly on Petey.
As we mentioned, it was a very odd slow walk trip to the mound for David Ross. He threw him a 1-1 curveball to Yadi, and next thing you know, he's out there talking to him, and you wonder, that's kind of strange in the middle of the at-bat, right? Just do a strike.
He didn't go all the way to the mound. He went halfway and had a quick conversation with him, like, are you okay? The 0-2. Swinging a high fly, right field, but not deep. Beltran backs up a few strides, under, and one hands it for the out. One away in front of Big Papi, who continues his offensive onslaught. Martinez in the postseason has pitched pretty well at times and not so well at others. His ERA in the World Series is 8.10. That's over 3 1/3. He's allowed 3 earned runs. And now takes on David Ortiz. Big Papi, 10 hits in this World Series, and he takes down and away for ball 1. He is 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI double and a single. And he's also squared one up on a liner to center that was caught by Robinson. So even his outs are well hit. And the pitch. That is outside for a ball.
Well, the Sox got to gear it up now. Here we go. 97 to 99. Carlos Martinez already.
David with 10 hits and 14 at-bats in this World Series. Bases empty in the 2-0. Swung on and foul tipped at the plate. That got a piece of Molina. A State Street Corporation is proud to sponsor and host multiple community groups throughout the Red Sox season at State Street Pavilion, where corporate citizenship and volunteerism is a long-standing worldwide tradition.
Yeah, the lefty Seager is still warming.
Martinez with a 2-1. Check swing, and it's outside, but he went, according to the home plate umpire. Bill Miller rings him up 2-2. He says David offered. Would not have been a strike had he ruled a check swing. It did look like David went too far on that replay we just saw. Martinez, the righty, delivers. Swing, ground ball right side. That'll reach the outfield. Carpenter, the second baseman, has it. Throws off balance. He's not going to get him, and that's going to be a base hit. Carpenter is not that fleet of foot. He does not have great range. He threw off balance in shallow right field, and David was able to beat it. David almost got drilled by the throw.
Yeah, I think Alan Craig really saved him. This ball was going right at David's face, and Alan Craig reached over and might have saved David. I might have just hit him in the shoulder or missed him, I guess.
So how about David Ortiz now? 11 for 15, but David's a little bit shaken up, and John Farrell and the trainer are now running out of the dugout up the first base line. I wonder if David did get hit.
No, when he tried to avoid, what happened is he tried to avoid the throw.
Well, I think he may have been hit by the glove.
Yeah, or maybe even
or hit the bag
in the wrong way, you know, trying to get out of the way of that throw. He and Craig both at first base at the same time. You wonder if he didn't roll his ankle a little bit.
I wonder if he might come out now anyway with a lead and wanting to get Napoli in there. He's 11 for 15. It's .733 average. Now he's got a smile on his face.
He is going to hang in there. Papi laughing, takes off the helmet. That's a good sign. Big smile on his face as he heads back to first base. Not sure exactly what that was about. He isn't clutching at an ankle or anything like that, but he did look like he stretched there once he got back to the bag, and he grimaced a little.
Well, a lot of times when you get a play like that at first base and the first baseman is on the bag facing that way, you don't know where to run. And the throw kind of took Craig to that line, got more in his way. He tried to avoid Craig, and sometimes you hit that bag a little funny.
But a base hit for Papi, his third hit of the ball game. And here's Johnny Gomes with one out, a man on. The pitch. That's in there for a strike. Red Sox ahead 3-1 in the 8th inning. Looking to take Game 5 and take a 3-2 lead back to Fenway Park in Game 6. No baseball tomorrow. Here's the set by Martinez. And a pitch on the way to Johnny Gomes. Cut on and missed. Johnny has struck out twice and also lined hard to left field. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. Ortiz with a short lead away from first base with one out. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Johnny Gomes fans on 3 pitches. He strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Red Sox strike out for the 11th time in the game. That's about average in this postseason for Boston. Just about 11 times a game. So 2 down. Daniel Nava could use a hit. Daniel's quiet tonight. He has struck out twice and also hit into a 4-6-3 double play.
Had a double off Martinez in game 1.
If you wonder maybe why David Ortiz won't be pinch run for, right? You think maybe Mike Napoli for defense.
Pitch on the way. Nava batting lefty, takes one low for a ball, rolls behind Molina, but no advance by Ortiz.
I would think maybe John's looking at it saying, you know, I'm going to roll Lester back out there for next half inning. If I have to take him out in the middle of the lineup, I can at least double switch Napoli in the middle of that inning and put him over there at first base. That way I can get Mike Napoli in the top of the 9th, up 3rd, 2nd, 4th, whatever it might be, and see how this inning ends up. Might make more sense to double switch him rather than just putting him in straight up.
22-year-old Carlos Martinez, who can hustle that fastball up there at 98. Takes a sign from Molina. The 1-0 to Nava. Swinging a fly ball lofted to left. Routine play right at Holiday. He's under and makes the catch to retire the side. That's all for the Sox. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We go to the last half of the 8th inning in St. Louis. The Red Sox pitching staff has 6 more outs to get, and they'll have a 3-2 lead in the series. More in a moment here on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. 3-1 Boston in the 8th. Craig is hit into a double play and grounded out routinely to second base, so he has not been any trouble so far tonight. Right-hand batter, and Lester delivers. Swing, foul ball, little chopper that squibs off to the right of the plate.
Did that hit the foot?
Well, I said that cutter that Johnny
Ooh,
Lester has.
He's limping even worse.
You can really bear down on those righties. A lot of foul balls off your foot, and that's something that right now Alan Craig can't afford.
Red Sox have double barrel bullpen activity. Tazawa has been joined by Uehara.
Oh, yep, that hit the foot.
Fouled it off his foot. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Inside for a ball, 1-1. You give Craig a lot of credit. He's obviously in tremendous pain. Can't run on that sprained left foot. Although he sprained it several weeks ago. He missed the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, even though he drove in 97 runs during the season. The 1-1. Cut on and missed. Big slow breaking ball. Well, that was 73 miles an hour. How tantalizing. But Craig couldn't touch it.
Yeah, you really give him a lot of credit. I mean, this is what it's all about. You got to respect the effort he's giving you, at least to step into this box and to play first base now for this team, and just not being able to move.
A lot of guys are giving great effort. The 1-2 pitch, swinging a little chopper left side. It's Bogarts plucking it to his left. He throws and gets him. He had all night to throw, and he did it for out number 1. Well, you had a great story about Felix Dubron coming into the clubhouse before Game 4 yesterday.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks coming out of the bullpen. Maybe how comfortable is he? Those 25 pitches in Game 3. And there was some speculation. Can he go back to back? Well, he walked into that clubhouse before Game 4, looked at Juan Nieves and said, "You tell John I've got 7 innings in me tonight." And when Nieves looked at him and said, "What?" "Tell him I have 7 innings." He told John Farrell, both surprised. I'm sure loved to hear it. He said, "Okay, you're the first man up."
Pitch on the way to Freeze, swung on, fouled right there at home plate, right near his feet for strike 1.
And he was outstanding. And, you know, the effort you get from Jon Lester. Again, like I said, he can hand the ball off to Koji Uehara. Again, you look at David Ortiz out there first and the pitcher up 4th. If you needed it, you could double switch and have Napoli come up. If you can get through this inning, just pinch hit him anyway.
The 0-1, breaking ball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lester, however, has retired 12 in a row, and his pitch count is at only 87.
Outstanding.
Nobody's reached since the home run by Holiday in the 4th inning. Their only run. The pitch to Freeze. Fastball for a strike in the inside corner. That was 91. That was also on the black.
That was a fastball, so 91. You're starting to lose a little bit of velocity, but as Clay Buchholz showed us last night, not always about velocity. It's location, and he just dotted a fastball in on the corner.
I think Clay learned a lot about himself last night. The 1-2 pitch. Swing, ground ball, fair down the first base line inside the bag. It's going to roll down into the corner. It thuds against the sidewall. Up with it now, but gunning into second base. Not in time. It's going to be a double. David Freese knocking one just inside first. Very similar to the David Ortiz double in the first inning.
Yeah, listen, a righty. David's off the line. Listen, a righty. You're not going to think he's going to drill this ball right down the line. He does, right over the back. Not a chance for David Ortiz.
So the batter will be Pete Kozma, who does not have a hit in the entire series. He is 0 for 10. But with a runner at second base, and Kozma represents the tying run at the plate. Red Sox up 3-1. And another one of these. Another one of these nail biters in postseason play for the Red Sox. Red Sox baseball is presented by AutoZone. For the AutoZone parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone.
Xander does the right thing. He's even with the bag. Remember, Kozma tried to push bunt. If I'm David Ortiz and a little bit, he's playing pretty deep right now. He might be inviting him to push another one down there. Be aware of this on the right side of the infield.
A big left-hander from Tacoma, Washington. Jon Lester checks the runner and delivers. And it's high with a fastball.
Adams has come out on deck to hit for the pitcher.
Matt Adams, the beefy first baseman, left-hand hitter. One man out, one man on. Bottom of the 8th inning, Cardinals hitting 3-1 Red Sox. Lester fires in, swinging a high fly ball into left, but a routine play. Gomes waits beneath it. Johnny's there, and he makes the catch. And that's out number 2.
They don't really have many right-hand bat options.
It's not a very deep bench, is it?
Now, the Red Sox throughout the postseason have a much stronger bench than any club they've played.
Oh, yeah, they really do. And the lefty Adams.
Well, here comes John Farrell heading out to the home plate umpires. So here comes your switch.
I wonder if, there you go, Mike Napoli goes out to first base.
Mike Napoli is about to replace Big Poppy. David will come out. I think Cardinal fans all over the Midwest are up and cheering right now that Poppy's coming out of the game because they just can't get him out. 3 more hits tonight.
You wonder who the call is here. I mean, Tazawa's been warming, but you got 2 outs here in the 8th.
You got a left-hand batter
Looks
up.
like it's Koji time.
Yep, looks like it's going to be Koji. Uehara has thrown his last warm-up toss, so he's about to come out of the bullpen, out beyond the left center field fence. So that's it for Jon Lester. An outstanding performance again. He leaves with a 3-1 lead, and he cannot lose it. Lester in line for the victory, as he is now on the bench. Here's the pitch to Adams, and it's in there for strike 1. Adams pinch hitting. Mike Napoli takes over at first base.
Adams 0 for 2 against Koji. He was 1 for 4 against Lester.
And the pitch to the lefty batter, waved at and missed. That one disappeared. The bottom fell out on that split. And it's 0-2, and Adams may see that again.
Well, of course, as we mentioned, they know the condition of Jon Lester better than anybody. If he was tweaked something, I had mentioned that fastball was 91. It was no longer 94, 95, and maybe they figure the split's a good matchup here.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. He got him with the split. He put away Adams, and the side is retired. Koji does what Koji does, a big K in the 8th inning. And through 8 complete innings of Game 5, it remains the Red Sox 3 and the Cardinals 1 on the Shaw's WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. And the pitch to Bogaerts is up high and away for ball 1. Xander with a good night, 2 for 3, a pair of singles and a strikeout.
This 6, 7, 8 all struck out swinging in the second inning.
Pitch coming, fastball drilled in for a strike.
Since then, they're 4 for 5 with a walk, a double, and an RBI, 2-run score. I mean, this is the bottom third of the order that's been so good for the Red Sox all year long.
The 1-1. Big swing and a miss. That was a home run cut on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Really popped the mid of Molina. One and two, and here it comes from the righty. Swing fouled back to the net. He just got a piece of it. Both sides have played very clean defense tonight. No errors and no controversy. Not yet. Here's the 1-2. Cut on and miss. Kind of a late cut by Bogaerts. Down he goes, strike three. That was 97 as well.
Well, this is just, that's by him. I mean, I don't know if he was looking something off speed, change up, but not an aggressive swing at all. Very defensive there.
One man out. Stephen Drew has gone 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and a run scored. It was the only man that Wainwright walked in the 7th inning. Took until the 7th before he walked somebody. Here's the pitch. And that's in there for strike one.
You're seeing that last half inning. How many times have you seen a left-handed pinch hitter to come in to face a lefty, only to have the lefty taken out to bring in a righty to face the lefty?
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Drew. Swing got jammed and a foul ball back to the net. Makes it 0-2.
We have to deal with the top third. Carpenter, Robinson, and Holiday. We could use Jay to hit for Robinson.
It'll be against Koji.
I almost feel like he's tougher against lefties with that split.
I agree. The Rock, the 0-2. Swinging a high pop foul out of play to the left.
This at bat will test that positive vibe that Stephen Drew is feeling here. His last couple of at bats, drove a ball to the base of the wall in right center, drew a nice walk there in that big 7th inning for the Red Sox, and now he go get 100.
Here's the 0-2. Off speed and down low. Off speed for him is 88 miles an hour.
A lot of guys' fastballs.
1-2 on Drew, who is 4 for 49 in the postseason. Here's the 1-2. Fastball away on the lefty hitter. So to count 2-2, bases empty, one down. Red Sox ahead 3-1 in the 9th inning. The kick and the pitch. Cut on and miss. Down he goes, strike three. 98 as that one lit up the radar gun. And Steven strikes out for the 19th time in 50 postseason at bats.
Well, this kid's got a big arm, man. I mean, they got some big arms and some youth to go along with it.
13 strikeouts, but a 3-1 lead.
Well, you really do have to keep scratching your head and say, how do the Red Sox keep on winning in the postseason with these massive strikeout totals? Not that they didn't strike out during the regular season, they did, but not at this rate, which is, of course, an historic rate. The pitch to Ross is a strike in the outside corner.
Yeah, I always felt striking out was overrated. Obviously, the guy in third, one out, nobody out. You don't want to do it, but they are really testing that theory. You know, with the amount of strikeouts they have, still winning though.
The 0-1 swing and a miss by Ross, who his fans singled and doubled tonight. He's had an excellent night, both behind the plate and at the bat. 0-2 on David. 2 down, nobody on base. 9th inning, Sox up by 2 runs. Rosenthal delivers, and it's high and wide with a fastball. That one 99. And it has a different sound when it pops the mid of Molina. From Rosenthal. Napoli's on deck. And here's the kick in the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He strikes out the side. That's all for the Red Sox, who have struck out 14 times, and yet they lead 3-1 with a chance to take a 1-game lead in a World Series heading to Boston. And the Red Sox have Koji Uehara on the hill to try and finish this thing up. 3 more outs to get. He'll get the top of the order. It's going to be Matt Carpenter, the lefty hitter. Then they're going to bring up John Jay, a pinch batter for Shane Robinson. And then Matt Holliday, who's homered tonight. Koji deals. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1. Third baseman Bogaerts is playing right around the cut of the third base grass. And Carpenter will drop down a bunt on occasion.
Didn't have to work too hard there in the bottom of the 8th. 3 splits to Adams, and that was it.
Say goodnight. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Carpenter swings and misses, and the count moves to 1-1.
One guy missing here in the 9th inning, Shane Victorino, not out there. That just tells you how that back is feeling. Hopefully that off day tomorrow can get him be able to contribute in some way in Game 6.
Koji home with a 1-1. That's drifting down low for a ball, 2-1. Defensively now, the Red Sox have Johnny Gomes in left, Jacoby Ellsbury in center, Daniel Nava in right. At third base, Xander Bogaerts. The shortstop is Stephen Drew. Dustin Pedroia at second base, Mike Napoli at first. David Ross is the catcher. Koji the pitcher. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a flared foul out of play to the left. That'll make the stands. And it's 2-2. Three to 1 Red Sox on the verge of taking a 3-2 lead and pushing Boston to within a win of the World Series championship. Here's the 2-2 to Carpenter. Strike 3, got him looking on the outside corner. 89 miles an hour to strike him out.
But he's really spotted that fastball beautifully.
Boy, this is a great pitch. I mean, you look at Koji on the hill and he takes a couple deep breaths and you start thinking, man, the man looks exhausted, right? A couple more outs here and he gets the day off tomorrow.
At times I wonder if he has the strength to hold up that gigantic glove. Well, the Red Sox with a 3-1 lead, and now John Jay being announced. Here's the pitch to Jay, and the lefty batter takes strike 1 on the outside corner. And this is the Koji that we saw all summer, isn't it?
This is location. This is down. First pitch on the black. Even if you want to go after, you can do nothing with it.
Working quick, the 0-1. That's outside for a ball and a strike. Holiday is on deck, so the key here is for Koji to get this man so that even if Holiday hits one 500 feet, it will not matter. The pitch. Swinging a high fly left field down the line, slicing toward the stands. Gomes on the move. It's off into the crowd. 1-2.
No question. I mean, Matt Holliday's obviously been identified as the most dangerous hitter in this lineup. I mean, Alan Craig was swinging the bat well tonight. Hasn't looked the same, obviously dealing with that foot injury, but Holliday's a guy that can leave the ballpark in any spot.
Jon Lester just outstanding again tonight. He's in line for the win. He went 7 2/3. Here's the 1-2 home. Fastball outside. John struck out 7. He allowed only 4 hits. He didn't walk anybody. He gave up just 1 run and another masterful performance in a big game. Here's the 2-2. Swing, flared foul. That'll make the stands off to our left. See if Koji has him all set up for a splitter to strike out Jay, with Holiday waiting in the on-deck area.
Well, he elevated a fastball for a ball, and then he kind of threw a fastball. It's kind of snuck it by him, so big split here.
2-2 coming. Swing, ground ball right side, backhanded by Napoli at first. Underhand toss. Koji's at first, and that is out number 2. 2 down in the 9th inning.
That's a big out, like you mentioned, with Holiday coming up. It was the splitter. Mike Napoli goes a little bit to his right. Good feed of Koji covering. 1 more out.
1 more out, and the Sox go up 3-2 in the series. Holiday will be the batter. Napoli has a conversation with Koji on the right side of the mound, and I would kill to hear that conversation.
Which language?
Exactly, which language? That would be fascinating. Red Sox ahead 3-1 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Beltran was deprived of a chance last night with a pickoff. I'd like to deprive him of a chance right now by ending it here.
He's homered tonight. He's gone 1 for 3 in the first pitch. Swinging a liner to right at Nava. Backing up a bit. Daniel makes the catch. The Red Sox win it. 3-1 the final, and the Red Sox are coming home to Boston with a 3-2 lead in the World Series. Koji locks it up here in the 9th inning. The Red Sox celebrate out on the pitcher's mound, and have beaten the Cardinals again here in St. Louis. 3-1 the final score.
Well, this Red Sox bullpen was taking a beating as far as innings, right? So you got Jon Lester goes out there tonight. Absolutely outstanding. 7 2/3, only 91 pitches. Hands the ball over to Koji. What can you say? 4-out save from Koji Uehara. Guy's outstanding.
Here's what you can say. The Boston Red Sox are one win away from winning the World Series in 2013. Unbelievable. Jon Lester gets the win. Time of game under 3 hours, 2 hours and 52 minutes. That's how good the pitching was. Jon is now 4-1 in postseason play, and it's the 7th save for the great Koji Uehara, who made it look easy again.
Let's go down to the field and Aaron Andrews.
With a very happy David Ross, who's screaming and then apologizing. Don't worry about it. You and Jon Lester have become quite the pitching-catching tandem. David, what was working tonight against the Cardinals that was working in Game 1?
Johnny, I mean, he's just a stud, you know. We rely on him. That's why he's the ace of our staff, because he goes out and pitches like that. You know, one pitch, guy hits for a homer who's a really good player. You know, what a great teammate and a guy's that battle, and you know, Wainwright's a good pitcher. You know, we had a battle tonight, and guys did a good job of putting some at-bats on him, and we were able to squeak out a couple.
There was a conversation, though, at the bottom of the 7th you were having with John Farrell, with Jon Lester, about coming back out. What was going on? Yeah,
I just thought he had hurt himself a little bit. I know something's uncomfortable, and John went and talked to him. He said he had one more. You know, just that's the kind of teammate he is. You know, he's going to give it all he's got, and I told him, you know, let it all eat. You know, this is it. You know, you got nothing left, and he did a great job. And you know, probably a bad pitch call by me to get up that last hit to Freeze. Freeze did a good job of hitting, but probably should have stayed hard in. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Johnny did a great job.
Speaking of a good job hitting, you yourself had a good job tonight. Your first World Series RBI, and facing a pitcher you just said is very tough in Adam Wainwright. Facing him 2 strikes, what's going through your mind in that at-bat?
How about that, huh? You know, yeah, right? I mean, it's nice to drive in runs. That's really nice. You know, I got to credit the guys in front of me. Bogey did a great job. I mean, that kid's 21 years old, and just having at-bats off a veteran like Wainwright, and then Dirt has a huge at-bat, getting to 3-2 and laying off a tough pitch, and luckily I was able to get something in the zone and just stay fair. I was talking to it really well, and then, you know, Els, you know, that's why we never give up, is guys just keep throwing at bats on guys. Guys are having tough nights, striking out. I was striking out. Guys are, you know, we just keep trying to battle each at bat and not give up, and that's what happens. You know, Els drives in 1, and if I was a little bit faster, he might have drove in 2.
All right, we'll see you in Boston on Wednesday night.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Joe, back over to you.
All right, that will be Game 6 on Wednesday night. The final here tonight in Game 5, 3-1. The Red Sox win it and win 2 of 3 here in St. Louis. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. John, you've got a 0.59 ERA in 2 World Series starts. You were in control from the beginning tonight. What made it happen for you out there tonight?
I don't know. I mean, I think the biggest thing is, you know, me and Rossi have had a good rhythm for whatever reason. Past 3-4 starts together. Early on, we just went back to our game plan from Game 1 and just fell back on that and really tried to make them start swinging the bats early. And we were able to do that and kept the pitch count down and, you know, tried to grind out the later innings there.
Russ hit the double just before you were scheduled to hit in the 7th. That put you ahead in the game. Would you have stayed in the game if the game had remained tied?
I don't know. I mean, I was out there, so I don't know. Obviously, you saw my swings tonight. They're not all that great. So, you know, that's manager John's decision. And if he would have pulled me, then that's kind of the beast of National League Baseball. So, but fortunate for us, Rossi hit that double right there, big double, pushed 1 across, and then Jake gets a hit after me. So it seems like it's a different guy every night that picks us up, and it's kind of been the theme all year.
John, so much talk about your glove, the green goop, after your last start. How did you react to that, and did it motivate you at all tonight?
I don't think motivate's the right word. I think the biggest thing was, you know, obviously there was a lot of hoopla after my last start, and you know, if you go out tonight and you don't pitch very well, people are going to immediately go back to that. So I think that was probably the biggest thing, is just making sure that I pitched well, threw the ball well, and prove to people that, you know, that was what it was, and I'm a good pitcher. So that's the main thing.
And welcome to MLB Tonight, presented by Bacardi Oakard. Inside Studio 3, Paul Severino, Bill Ripken, and Eric Burns. So the Boston Red Sox, they're going to go to St. Louis. They won't have the DH. This series could turn. Well, it did turn. Boston now has a 3-2 series lead heading back home.
Yeah, and Jon Lester was really good tonight, Burnsy. And when you think about the Cardinals are not good against left-handers. Now, you pair that with Lester, who's not your average left-hander. Much better than that. He's been dominating against them.
Yeah, interesting. I'm thinking, wow, it's going to be very difficult for the St. Louis Cardinals to go back to Boston and win 2 games. But I look at the matchup in Game 6, and I think to myself, you have Michael Wacha going against John Lackey. You have to believe that, the way Wacha has been pitching, you have a really good chance in that game. And then Game 7 for me would be a coin flip. So, as much as a lot of people right now are probably thinking this series is done, we don't see the Cardinals going back to Boston. Lee.
So this was not a must-win for the St. Louis Cardinals, is what you're saying?
I don't think so.
No. I understand it's a race to 4 and you want to win every night you go out there, but you look at it, and again, you're going on the road, so you don't feel that this was a must-win for the Cardinals.
No, I really don't. I said that going into this matchup. It was one of the reasons why there was urgency for me last night for the Red Sox, a big-time urgency, and they ended up pulling that game out. Tonight, for me, yeah, sure, there's a little more urgency on the Cardinals' end, but I looked at this game tonight as, I don't know. I could see this series, guys, from the beginning. I saw this series going 7 games. We'll see if it ends up happening, but really, it's a coin flip still.
Yeah, and to Burnsy's point, Wacha has answered every question we've had about him. Can he beat the Dodgers twice? He's already got a W in the books now.
Yep.
And his matchup is Lackey. Did that outing last night, coming out of the bullpen. It was a side session, I understand, but it's not a side session.
There's no way.
Because it's a full inning pitch in a World Series game. What's that toll going to be like on him?
Totally different. I remember talking to Dan Plesac about that. There's no possible way that's the exact same thing as just going to throw some pitches on the side. And again, we don't know. It might help him. He might go out there and dominate tomorrow night. Just a lot of question marks still left.
Of course, before we spin things too far forward back to Boston, we get it back to Game 5. And again, Jon Lester, now through 2 starts in this World Series, has been absolutely terrific, working into the 8th inning in both outings. 1 earned run, just that home run to Matt Holliday that he surrendered in Game 5. But he has been exactly what the Boston Red Sox would have liked to get out of their ace, whereas on the other side, the Cardinals have lost both games started by Adam Wainwright, but Jon Lester living up to the billing of the ace of this staff.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And going into this, you figured the aces were going to be okay. You know what I'm talking about? I viewed the Cardinals. I gave them a slight advantage in this, even though the Boston Red Sox had home field advantage, because I thought the deeper the staff was, went to the favor of the Cardinals. So even if Wainwright goes down 2, Lester beat him twice, it still doesn't count the Cardinals out.
Jon Lester, he's proved that he's the best starting pitcher in this World Series. And the way he was commanding his fastball both sides of the plate, using that backdoor cutter. As a right-handed hitter, you have to understand, when he throws that backdoor cutter, what I mean by that for people at home is that this thing's starting off the plate outside. As a right-handed hitter, you're 100% giving up on that pitch. He was actually bringing it back over the outside corner. And I know they have the little Fox track, and look, I don't think it's an exact science there. But at the same time, when you watch this pitch come back, and here's Carlos Beltran, and I thought this was going to be gone. It was fun to watch him and David Ortiz do their thing. I can't believe we're this far into the show already, a minute and a half, and we haven't mentioned David Ortiz's name. But here's Lester. You see, look, he's not missing his spots. When he wants to go inside, he's going inside. That's Alan Craig, a really good hitter, up and away, good ride through the zone with his fastball. You see the fastball again, in on the hands. He didn't miss a whole lot of spots, Billy.
And all these outs that we're seeing, all these outs we're seeing is in that string of 12 consecutive set down after the home run to Matt Holliday. So that didn't really shake his confidence at all.
No, and when you think about, look, we got plenty of pitchers that sit on this desk. They talk about shutdown innings. Right? Shut down the opponent after your team scores. Well, what Lester did after he gave up a biscuit, he gives up a homer to Holliday. He just decides to shut down 12 in a row.
I like that.
I think that's the equivalent right there of a shutdown inning, 2, 3, and 4 as it works out. So he was great tonight.
He was great, and he handed the ball right to Koji Uehara, who has been great since, July? I mean, that's really what you want if you're the Boston Red Sox. Get a great start and just give it to Uehara, because some guys, at times, you saw Tazawa give up the hit to Holliday a couple of nights ago. We've seen Breslow be a little bit less than what he was in the championship series. You go from starter to closer, you got a really good chance to win the ballgame.
Well, there's no right. Koji Uehara and Burnsy, it's hard to say a guy that throws 90 with the 80-mile-an-hour split can be one of the most dominating closers in this game, because if we see Rosenthal, what he does, we always talk about Kimbrel, talk about Chapman. All these guys that blow up the radar gun. But this guy throws 90. He's got an 80-mile-an-hour split, and he's one of the most dominating closers in the game right now.
Yeah, for me, Trevor Hoffman's the only guy that I can remember in Major League Baseball, at least in the past decade or so, that throws a ball like Uehara. And you know, Trevor Hoffman, he threw the hardest 86-mile-per-hour fastball at the end of his career I'd ever seen in my entire life. And it's all because of the changeup. And for Uehara, it's all because of the split-finger fastball.
And here he is. These are the 4 outs that he recorded as he gets Matt Holliday. The line drive. Daniel Nava reaching over his left shoulder to make the catch. So there you have it. A 3-1 Boston Red Sox victory. And they have taken a 3-2 series lead heading into the off day and heading back to Boston. So the line score for the Red Sox pitchers, not a long list at all. Lester goes 7 2/3, and Koji Uehara gets the last 4 outs. 7 strikeouts for Jon Lester. It was 10 strikeouts for Adam Wainwright. I don't want to say that it fell apart for him in the 7th inning because he still pitched very well throughout, but that 7th inning when the Red Sox tacked on those 2 runs, the double, the ground rule double by David Ross, and then here's where we were kind of talking to first guess Mike Matheny to leave Wainwright in to face Jacoby Ellsbury. Before whatever happened, where did you stand?
Well, I wanted to go to the left-hander right there, but really in those situations, this is why when there's a World Series game going on, these managers are making these decisions or not making these decisions, it's really easy to scrutinize. You got your man out there on the mound. So I can certainly see where Mike Matheny said, you know what? He has been abusing Jacoby Ellsbury.
Yeah. Well, that was a thing. He had dominated Jacoby Ellsbury all night. So in that situation, I'd have a very difficult time going to get him.
Right. But I would like to say, though, because I was sitting with you.
You were,
and
right?
I said, I wanted the lefty gas man.
And we thought,
just saying.
Mike Matheny looked like he was going to the top step to come out, and he did not. So here you go. Let's walk you through the innings. So this is Xander Bogaerts with a ground ball up the middle. How great has this guy been throughout this postseason? So he's aboard. Now, this is a walk to Stephen Drew.
There's the big pitch right there, the 3-2 pitch to Stephen Drew, and he walked him on a hook.
And then David Ross, and you think for a second here, as it bounces into the seats, maybe that's a break for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought immediately. And then, you know, he had the question of whether or not he was going to hit for Jon Lester. He decides not to hit for Jon Lester. They end up getting the out, and then Jacoby Ellsbury, and this was the this was kind of the clincher. Now, you know, obviously the Cardinals didn't score again, and you felt that 2-1 lead would have been safe in hindsight. But at that point, before the Jacoby Ellsbury base hit, I thought this might be another move that we might criticize John Farrell for, and he's been under scrutiny since the beginning of the series.
And again, here we go inside the start for Adam Wainwright. Again, much different in Game 5 than he was in Game 1. Maybe he had a tough time getting a grip on the curveball. That's obviously been his calling card for so long. 10 strikeouts, but obviously not enough for the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 5. And one of the guys that got to him a couple of times for a couple of knocks has been David Ortiz. And this is a David Ortiz that had, what, 2 hits? Was he 2 for 18, 2 for 20, something like that in the American League Championship Series? He's been a completely different guy. The series ends now. You're probably giving him a World Series MVP.
You think? Yeah. And here's the deal. The first at bat right there, that's not a bad pitch. It's a little cutter. Probably what Wainwright wanted to do. Get on his hands. Petey's on second with a double. Prior, he hit a hook down the line, and Poppy comes through with a big knock, and now he just covers the ball to right field for another knock. This dude is unconscious right now.
And then he also, this is a ground ball here, he'll reach base, but also the line drive to center field that was an out.
Right.
That was a hard hit ball too, but that was an 0 for in that at bat.
I don't know what to say. This is one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen in watching a guy, whether it be regular season or postseason. He's as locked in as you possibly can be. Legitimately, we always talk about how the game speeds up or slows down. It is an Exmo right now for David Ortiz.
You see what he's done in his career in the World Series, 13 games with the Red Sox, a .465 average, and these numbers could be even bigger if not for a Carlos Beltran robbing of a grand slam back in Game 1.